It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby, and I'm fired up. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and man, oh man, is it a phenomenal day. Only high of 50 in the shy, all right, rainy, but you know what? It's a beautiful day. You woke up this morning. That alone makes it a beautiful day. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, and then I guess you found us on Facebook, and if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, listen. Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, okay? And now you're liking Sports Zone Chicago. And if, while you're there, go check out our fans page, our show's page, Shawn and Maya in the morning, all right? Check out Shawn and Maya in the morning. Hit the like button as well. Now you're following the show's page on Facebook. Excellent. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, that is even more excellenter. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, come on, man. All right. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago. All right. Click the subscribe button. And now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. So in addition to Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, in addition to our other 5 live shows we get during the week, they're all archived there. So you can check them out at your leisure. All right, and if you're listening to us on the app, that is even more excellenter. That's the most excellent test stuff I've heard in a minute. If you haven't downloaded the app, what? Come on, man. Listen, wherever you get your apps from, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Right Hand, JCPenney, Montgomery Wards, or wherever you get your apps from, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. Okay, so in addition to Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, in addition to our other 5 live shows throughout the week, in addition to them being archived like they are there on Facebook and on YouTube, okay, we have a slew of articles that are posted up there daily, and that's from our guy, Clarence Council III. Big shout out to Clarence Council III for all the great work you do for us here at Sports Zone Chicago. All right, now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy, CHI. All right, now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, all one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, because you do it just for the gram, you're an IGer, just follow her at Maya_Kai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Jamar Harp is in the house. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, listen, I would be remiss if I didn't bring him out. He's a man that makes everything run smoothly here at Sports Zone Chicago. He is a man behind the curtain, the Wiz, some people like to call him, but I like to call him my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, and he's affectionately known in some circles, not a lot, just some, as PR Swiss. He's my man, Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Chilling. That's 0 circles, but I mean, I like to have it up there because you like it. It's fun. It's a play on words. So it was a good day. I mean, it was a good night last night. NCAA was fun.
Dude, was that insane or what?
All of it.
Number one team down. Number one team down.
It's been fun the entire tournament, man, and it's been even more fun because like on the Smoke Fellas thread that we got, the little chat group that we got, it's just fun watching because KDL's in. Yeah, where's KDL? Is he still in Vegas? I think KDL might be in Vegas.
No, he was.
Every time KDL had Kentucky, he had Kentucky, and then Kentucky lost, and then he had both Texas Tech and
he lost
Arizona.
It was a seven leg parlay in the Kentucky game. And
yeah, but he had He had Texas Tech and Arizona in last night's game, and it's coming up empty, shooting blanks there. But no, I'm just giving it some shit. It was fun. The Bulls, on the other hand, man, you know, before I get into it, I think it's just who the team is. It's just who the team is. This is exactly what we wanted them to compete. They're in position to make the playoffs, but maybe it's just you're just a couple players short. I think you're a few players short. You're a little attitude, adjustment short. I think seeing what happened this year, going into next year with free agents, I think it might be a different story.
Maybe you're right, dude. You know why? Because the Bulls were never playing in a I don't want to say fair, in a legitimate Eastern Conference, because they were always hurt. Okay, Ben Simmons wasn't playing in Philly, so that was Philly wasn't Philly. Okay, Kyrie Irving had the vaccination issue, so they weren't at their strength, at full strength. So you're dealing with two teams who are not at full strength the whole time. Maybe they are reverting back to their means, to who they are. Maybe they were playing above their heads. I don't know. But it was really fun to watch them play above their heads, because it shows you what they can play, what they can be. But now they need some toughening up. So we'll talk about that a little later on. But maybe you're right. I'll tell you one thing I do like, though, Ivan. I'll tell you one thing I do like. Zach LaVine got a little bit of a funky attitude. He's dunking on Mug, boy. He's like, I got my New Balance contract. I'm in the money. I'm a free agent no longer. I'm off the market. Boom! Take that with you. Boom! Take that with you.
That posters are in his contract. He gets incentives every time he dunks on somebody with New Balances on. Zach gets a boost in pay. Now, that attitude should have. And I'll tell you this: what it looks like is maybe Zach's becoming healthy again. You know what I'm saying? Because there wasn't that aggression right off the bat after the end. Even with the show, it was a shoulder, but you're driving through the lane, you're cutting through the lane, you're taking on bodies. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be contact. Like that's just a given in the game. But just his aggressiveness, like I hope that continues. I hope he could continue, because Zach driving to the basket and not settling for jump shot after jump shot, even though he could do it, when he gets hot. I mean, Zach is hot. He's on fire. But driving to the basket, getting more aggressive for the whole team. I hope it resonates throughout the entire team, because this team needs an attitude adjustment for the playoffs. I said it earlier, like I said a couple minutes ago, an attitude adjustment and maybe a couple more players would do wonders for this team. I just don't think it's this year. We got what we wanted, though. We got the competition.
Yeah, you're right. It might not be this year. Okay, it might be. Who knows? All right. Well, we don't know when Lonzo Ball is coming back, so we have to proceed as if he's not going to be here the rest of the year. So you know what? When DeRozan gets back off his groin injury, or tenderness, or it's not an injury, it's just kind of tender, didn't want to tweak it. I get it. It's cool. But yesterday was a game we should have had, or the other day was a game we should have had. And it was like, those games are the ones. All right, we stacked them early on. Remember, all year we stacked against those guys, but then all of a sudden you get teams who are trying. Now they're fighting for their playoff lives. Okay, they're fighting for the playoff lives now. All right, they're fighting just to get into the play-in tournament. So they have a little more. It was. What was the boy's name? The dude for the Pelicans, little Puerto Rican cat, probably your cousin somewhere down the line. Dude, he was Jose Alvarado. He reminds me of one of those dudes that you just hated to play. All right. Not that he's really good. Obviously, I'm talking NBA level, because he's really good because he's in the NBA. But as far as NBA level talent, he's not, he's at the bottom of it. But he makes up for it with hustle, IQ, attitude. Kind of guy that I hated to play. All right. That foul, I'm okay with that foul. If you saw that foul with Io, he's one of those guys that's really annoying that, you know what, if he accidentally caught a elbow to the bridge of the nose, I'd be okay with it. And listen, I get it. We all talk shit. It's cool. All right. But there was the one thing that
I missed that foul. I'm gonna have to go back. I'll bring it up. Hopefully they show what the highlight, because let me see if I can see what the highlights,
so,
and then
so
I'll.
what happened is he got a breakaway, and he's ahead of Io, and he's kind of looking back and watching them, and then goes to lay it in. Just some shit, just some petty bullshit. All right, Io wasn't having it. Io fouled his ass hard, and he should have thrown his ass into the bearing of the standing. He should, dude.
Well, you know what, Shawn, look at. Good for Io, right?
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Somebody went ahead and say, "Hey, that shit ain't gonna fly."
Southside boy.
And Devon's right. We talked about Vooch before. Not a bum, but not aggressive enough for us to have you consistent. And then you're missing your outside three when you're wide open. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something that can't be. But an attitude like that, like Io, you're gonna go ahead and try to show me up. You're gonna try to clown me. Well, let me go ahead and show you what a punk. What kind of punk you think I am. Which is none at all. And look, I'm not saying to hurt the player, right? I'm not saying to be purposely hurt this man, but a tough foul. You're running up, boom. You give him a hard shoulder while he's trying to pass you. Boom, quick foul. Something like that, where it looks like incidental contact, but it's very deliberate.
See, here's my issue with a lot of NBA players. You don't know how to give hard fouls. Like, they gave him the hard foul because he pushed him in the back, which he did. All right. My thing is, and here's the thing that bugs me. If you're going to block, if you want to shove him with your body. Jump into him with your body to body, going after the ball. Okay. So you're making it look like a ball, but you're using your whole body, your whole mass. Okay. Your whole force, your mass in motion collides into his, and he goes flying out of control. Okay, trust me, I know how to give hard fouls.
Did he push him in the back? Wait, now you said he pushed him back. Did he push him back when he went up to score?
Yeah, it was because he was looking back at him because he had him beat to the cup. Mind you, New Orleans is up 13-15 at this point. The game's pretty much over. Okay, and that was just a little bitch move. He turned around like basically ha taunting type shit. You know what I mean? And Io went for the ball, but kind of pushed him with his left hand. Just pushed him in like, don't push him with your left hand. Use your whole body. Okay, use your whole body.
Yeah.
So he feels it. Come across. Don't even go for the ball. Go for it. Smack his arm down. You know what I mean? Make him pay. Make him understand. Like, this is bullshit. You got us. You beat us. Okay, great. Congrats. There's no need to cheapen your win. Okay, and if you want to get out low, we can get out low.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like a push, like when you said a push in the back, I was like, oh, I didn't, because I haven't seen it yet. I'm pissed I didn't get to see it. Like I was watching that and the tournament games. But yeah, you're right. No, a hard foul. Give him a hard foul. Send him to the ground. I'm seeing nothing egregious, but like I said, it looks incidental, but it's very purposeful. An aggressive foul. Foul. Nothing that where you're trying to go, at his head. No elbows thrown. Nothing like that. But your, strength. Your body, where your body, your momentum, that's the word, their momentum taking you right through the guy. It's something that you've seen. It's old school. It's old school. It's like it's not an art, but you have to really like you said, you have to know when and where and how to do it.
So we got to talk to Lance and Jason and Nick. And by the way, great job by Nick and Lance with the interview with their guy Charlie Moore the other day. It aired on Wednesday, so if you missed it, make sure you go back and check it out on Sports Zone Chicago. They interviewed Charlie Moore, who played under Lance, Lance and Nick when he was at Morgan Park. Great interview with those guys. We're gonna have to get those guys in and teach Io, how to do it right, how to foul people hard, right. All right. There's a correct way to do it, and he didn't do it. So We'll get into that later today. Hey, listen, we got a phenomenal show, but we need you to get interactive. We have an active text line already. Peep this. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up on this Mickey Ficky Friday? You know it is, baby. You know it, baby. Hassam, good morning. We already said what's up to Jamar. He's in the house. Thank you, Papa. Mashawn Wall's in the house. Devon Hicks, he's back by popular demand. Thank you, Papa, for tuning in. We appreciate it. I love the interaction, and that's what makes this show great. We have a phenomenal show for you. Listen. Oh, perfect. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. All right. Listen, we have a phenomenal show for you. At 10 o'clock, Dave Holcomb. Who? Glad you asked. Dave Holcomb. He writes for the Colts, or he's a Colts writer for Heavy.com. So Heavy on Colts. That's Dave Holcomb. We're going to talk to him a little bit. I wanted to talk. I couldn't get my other guy, JJ. We're going to try and get JJ on soon, JJ Stankovich. But I want to get a little insider information. All right, insider trading, and this is not illegal over here. All right, it's not illegal on this platform. On Coach E. All right, and then also our new acquisition. Not the new, but the defensive coordinator, Coach Williams, as well, the defensive coordinator. And then also the free agent acquisition. We got AQM Al-Qadim Muhammad, defensive end. Just want to get a take on those guys, okay, from a guy who covered them last year, and because I'm excited, and no better way to get that started than somebody who covered them, someone who's there, someone who's watching them week in and week out. That's at 10 o'clock. Ken Davis is going to join us right around 10 as well. And then 11 o'clock, you know what it is. It's Friday. It's time for the two-back set. Me, Phil Ottochian, will be going at it, talking Bears, a lot of free agent signings. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right. People really need to see. Here's a problem with Chicago fans, because I'm guilty of it as bad as anybody. It's tough for us to hear the truth. It's tough for us to allow people to do what they say they're going to do. We're not used to that. We're not. I think the only person who's ever said that they were going to do something and did it was Theo. Rick Hahn is in the process of it. But GMs, we don't get. They usually bullshit us all the time. They usually do.
I don't know what to think of Jed. I don't know what to think of Jed right now, though, because with these Ricketts biblical losses and them trying to go buy Chelsea and shit, I don't know what to think about.
That's a valid point. They got no money. How much? 4 billion. How much is it?
Right, because I don't know if Jed's handcuffed. I don't know if it's Jed being handcuffed. I know Jed don't want to spend, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what's.
So you don't got money to spend on free agents, but you want to go buy Chelsea. What is... Okay, so I'm stuck here, but you want to go buy Chelsea. You want to go hop across the pond, okay, and buy a freaking Premier League soccer team. Well, I'm dying over here. I got no money.
Biblical losses. This is a smack in the face.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so Dave Holcomb at 10 o'clock talking Coach E, Coach Williams, and AQM. Because I want to know, is he a guy that we could put out there and say, good, go, or is he going to be in a rotation? Either way, I'm fine. Okay? We need to make up those Khalil Mack sacks and pressures by any means necessary. So if that means it's going to be a platoon, because I don't want to say the C word, I don't want to see that word. But if it's going to be a platoon, okay, that's cool. No problem at all. I just want to know. Okay, I just want to know. Too Cool Kennedy in the Mickey Ficky house. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Rashad Kennedy in here. And don't you Don't you be called an insult to gentlemen. Don't call me a gentleman. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Thank you, Papa. I'm just kidding. I got jokes on Friday. I had a good workout. I got jokes. I got jokes. But man, we have it. So that's it. Make sure you tune in, guys. It's going to be awesome. Dave Holcomb at 10 o'clock. Okay. Phil Ottochian at 11. And man, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
Just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
You know how we do, guys. Top of the morning. You know what that means? That means we got to bring in our guy. We got to bring in your guy. We got to bring in the guy. I hope he doesn't have to be yelling at these damn kids again and interrupting my segment. He's the guy you can find on Twitter at ACA Joe. Let's bring him in, Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa? How are you?
They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now you can call me Batman. I got drug dealers, gang bangers. I got a Colt 10. Get the chains off the door.
You have kindergartners.
Get the chains off the door. Get the chains off the door. Hey,
Got
Ivan.
a Colt 10.
Ivan,
10,
let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. When I was subbing at a couple of places before, let me tell you what. Those kindergartners are a heck of a lot worse than the 7th and 8th grade, even some of the high school kids do.
So I was like, come here, let me smell your breath. Come here.
Smell your armpits.
Dude, I'm telling you. I feel you, Joseph. I feel you, dog.
Now, you and rum? Uh-huh.
You seen Kindergarten Cop, right?
I did.
With a badge.
Little kid. Boys have a penis. Girls have a vagina.
Oh, no.
Remember? And then you go like this every time he says it.
You sure this is bad, boy. All right. Now back
back. Hey, listen, first time of the morning topic's the Bulls. Bulls fall to the New Orleans Pelicans, the 126-109 yesterday. Zach LaVine, 39 points. Kobe White, 23 points, 5 for 8 from beyond the arc. Vooch, no double-double, although he gave us 16 and 9. The Bulls have lost 5 of their last 6, 10 of their last 13. You know what? It was not pretty.
I was proud to see Zach LaVine play as hard as he could play, which we need him to play like that every single game for the next, 9-10 games until the end of the season, because he got a shoe deal. So, you know, he got to put up some
He's happy, baby.
Some stats for his shoe deal, but I hope he's not doing it just for the shoes, okay?
It's got to be the shoes. Do you know?
Yeah, right. Money. It got to be the shoes. Bottom line is, I hope he's not just doing it for the shoes, but he's doing it for the love of the team. We need that out of you every day, not just when DeMar's absent, but every single day. Second, let's just talk about Billy Donovan again. Here we go. Okay, so the drop defense, as you can see, is a disaster. Anytime we let a kid from the D League, okay, well, what's the kid name? What's his name?
The Puerto Rican cat?
Name. Yeah, what's his
Alvarado?
name? Alvarado. Chevy Alvarado. Okay, was it Chevy? Was it a Chevy Alvarado? Okay.
Oh.
We let this guy destroy us. Okay. That can't happen. This is worse than Carlos Arroyo
and
destroying Team USA.
And talking ish to us while he was doing
LeBron it too. and D Wade destroying Team USA.
Actually, that one I kind of enjoyed. That one was funny.
Yeah, that was enjoyable because LeBron was overrated, so I really liked that one. But this is a perfect example of not having any heart. And yesterday, I saw a few guys step up to the challenge, and that one was Zach LaVine. Then the other guy was Kobe White. Everybody else, it was just a no call, no show. And it resulted in a blowout victory.
It did, and you know what? It wasn't pretty. It was one of those games where I thought we had. This was a game I thought we were going to be able to come away with, and these are the games that we have issues with. All right, because right now because they're fighting for their playoff lives and for seeding. So we're we're in the playoffs. All right. I don't know if they're coasting. I don't want to say that. I just don't think they have this. They don't have the sense of urgency. That's it. They don't have the sense of urgency as other teams because they already know. So they're going to fall. Okay, they're going to fall. Fine. But they're still in the, even if they fall into the play-in round, they're still in the playoffs. And which one thing I don't want them to fall into the playoff round, trust me. But the sense of urgency from trying to make it in as opposed to being in, like, okay, it doesn't matter where we really fall. You can see it. And that's unfortunate because defense is being affected. In every aspect of it. And I mentioned it the other day, from rotations to closing out to boxing out to 50-50 balls, all those things that the Bulls were good at and scrappy with and, diving on the floor, we're not getting because our playoff lives are not on the line. New Orleans, their playoff lives were. And that's why they came out more aggressive. They came out, guys I never heard of were hitting. And that was frustrating as all get out.
So I wanted, this takes me back to the days of Lovie Smith when he was with the Bears. One thing I liked about Lovie Smith, even though I didn't agree with everything he did, was that he used to break the season up into 4 quarters. Okay? Mm-hmm. And Bulls, I have to say, first and second quarter of the season, they played great basketball. Third quarter of the season, which was pretty much the All-Star break, they were pretty much hitting their peak. Now it's the fourth quarter where we need you the most. And we need you to close out. I think they're currently 4-10 right now. 6 games under 500 since the All-Star break. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
It is. So we're going to see how it plays out. They have tomorrow they play. They are at Cleveland tomorrow. And for all intents and purposes, Joseph, that is a playoff game. That is a playoff game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Guardians. Oh, Cavaliers. Sorry, Guardians, Cavaliers. I forgot what sport we were talking about. I'm kidding. That's a playoff game. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest with you. The Bulls are a game ahead of Cleveland. Okay, if they win, they'll be tied. And you can't. This is a team that you could face in the first round, right? They may continue to roll, even if we leapfrog Boston. Okay, they may leapfrog Boston. We don't know. Okay, but this is a playoff game. Bulls need to show up. Zach needs to show up. You're damn right. You just got your shoes. You got your shoe deal, Papa. You're good. You're good. Now don't worry about it, man. Now just go play some ball. All right. Be the closer that you work on getting that max deal. Okay. That means you gotta remember what I said before? I said in the rest of these games, Zach has to win us a game. All right, whether it's the last second shot, he's got to win us a game. And also he's got to win us a second game. And that's either by keeping a team at bay when they're trying to make a run or coming up huge at the end with free throws. But he needs 2 of those types of victories for me to be comfortable. Okay? And for him to have the utmost confidence. Because you know what? It's easy to say you're confident, but you know damn well you haven't hit a game winner like DeMar. You know you haven't hit 2 in a row like DeMar. So you can sit there and give me and with all these wolf tickets that you want, talk about I'm good, I'm the best, I'm no. Until you do it. Okay? Until you do it, then and only then will you have that confidence. So listen, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. NBA Thursday, the Bulls dropped their second straight, 126-109, the loss at New Orleans. The Bulls are 42-31 with the setback. Zach LaVine led the scoring for Chicago with 39 points. Kobe White had 23. The Pelicans got 30 points from Devontae Graham, 25 from CJ McCollum, and a double-double from Jonas Valanciunas. Up next for the Bulls, they'll try and snap the skid tomorrow night when they visit Cleveland. The Blackhawks put a 2-game winning streak on the line tomorrow when they visit the Vegas Golden Knights. Chicago with a 4-3 win at Los Angeles yesterday. Alex DeBrincat had the shootout winner. Colin Delia made 43 saves through overtime in just his second start of the season. Spring training Thursday, the Angels beat the Cubs 5-4. Today, it'll be the Cubs taking on the Rockies. The Giants beat the White Sox 9-6. Today, the Sox will face the Mariners. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. This is funny. This is funny. Always getting good stuff. Well, let's keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic. Where we at here? The White Sox. The White Sox lose to the San Francisco Giants yesterday, 9-6. Ray Lopez. He got the start. He went 2 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, and a walk. Tim Anderson, he was 2 for 3. Eloy Jimenez was 2 for 2 with his first homer of the spring. And former White Sox pitchers Carlos Rodon, their boy. I would have loved to have seen them pregame. He was on the bump for San Francisco. Remember, he just got that new 2-year. What was it? Oh, hold on. I don't want to be. Was it $44 million or $22 million contract? I don't want to misspeak myself. Believe me, I don't. I want to get his contract right. Come on, baby. Come on. Where's what do you remember what it was? It was 2 years for
whose contract?
Carlos Rodon. 2-year, $44 million. Yeah, sorry, Papa. The White Sox weren't paying you $22 million. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for him. I like Carlos Rodon a lot. I've always been a Carlos Rodon fan. But they weren't paying you $22 million. Not for a dude who could just stay healthy after one good year. Yeah, that was tough.
You and Lucas Giolito.
What's wrong with Lucas?
No, I said, did y'all ever handle that arbitration case?
No, they're going to arbitration.
Okay.
They're going to. So that's kind of a annoyance more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Rodon looked good yesterday. But I mean, in my opinion, it was the right move for the White Sox. In my opinion, it was the right move for Carlos Rodon. Okay, if at that particular point, you go for the money. All right, you go for the money, and I'm happy for him. You know what? I have no ill will toward him. It's a business. It was a business decision on both parts, and I'm cool with it. So good luck to him moving forward with the rest of his career. But I'll tell you what, that 44 million is really going to help make his life, his family's life, a lot easier.
Exactly. At least you guys gave him the platform to earn the 44 million, even though y'all lowballed him. But at the end of the day, that's how White Sox do business.
Stop taking cheap shots.
That's it.
That's not how we do business. But anyway, the next top of the morning topics is Joseph's on some, the Cubs. Oh, here we go. The Cubs lose to the Angels 5-4 yesterday. Steals on the mound. He was 2 innings, no hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Wisdom, Triantos, each had an RBI. Well, Yan Gomes had 2 RBIs yesterday, but it wasn't enough as the Cubs fall 5-4. Are you seeing anyone you like in spring training? Are you seeing anyone that we should keep an eye on? What's the deal with your Cubs to this point?
I'm liking the young guys right now. Triantos, it's Jason Triantos. Is that Triantos? Yeah, he had 2 hits yesterday. I think we need to bring him up pretty soon. I know Brendan Davis homered, but I think he's like 1 for 5 in spring training right now because he got injured and then he returned to the lineup. I think he drew like 1 base on ball, and I think his kid named Casey. He's a left-handed bat, 6'4". I mean, he's like a Canadian slugger, and this is somebody we can look forward to bringing up soon. I don't know if it'll be a year or 2, but I'm looking forward to the young guys stepping up. And I know Brendan Davis is supposed to be called up in the summer, this summer, pretty much. So hopefully he can make up in the production area where Jason Hayward lacks, and also give us that athletic ability that Jason Hayward provides and make Jason Hayward expendable. Because I think Jason Hayward time is up with the Colts.
You think? It was up 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was up 2016 actually when he signed him. He hasn't given us anything.
No, he hasn't, Joseph. He hasn't.
But a speech. I'm sorry, a speech.
Yeah, but that speech did a number for you. So you got to be thankful. You got to be thankful for the speech that he gave you.
That speech was $120 million.
Yeah, but I would say speech and leadership, but he just in defense. But that's it. Like we wanted him, and Joseph. I said this to Shawn. We were expecting him to be 280, 25 to 30 home runs, and 100 RBI plus driven in, and he just isn't that guy.
His last good year was with the Cardinals, and that year, that's when he destroyed our pitching. You remember that year? He was destroying our pitching, and then we signed him thinking we were taking him away from the Cardinals, but he was an actual liability.
It didn't work out like the Hossa signing, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's
$120 million speech. Oprah don't even charge that much for her speeches.
No,
she sucks. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, they don't call it March Madness for nothing. Yesterday's games, the docket of games in the NCAA tournament yesterday were just purely insane. Number 1, Gonzaga gets upset by number 4, Arkansas. Unbelievable. Gonzaga was the number 1 team. Actually, they were the number 1 overall seed. They were the number 1 team in the country coming in, and to get upset. And let me tell you, there's a Calvin Sampson. Calvin Sampson is that dude, man. He's arguably one of the best he's one of the best college coaches now. And for them to beat the number 1 team, Gonzaga, 74-68 yesterday, I'm highly impressed.
Say about Calvin Sampson, he's excellent at recruiting, even though he did a lot of stuff illegally. When he was with the University of Indiana.
Dude, why do you always got to shit on people, bro?
That's just the truth, bro. What are you talking about, man? Look, don't hate on my comments,
I'm
bro.
not saying. I'm asking. It's always LeBron horrible. Tom Brady is horrible.
You gotta start it off and then you build them up. Bottom line is he was busted for a recruiting violation and he destroyed a lot of programs with Indiana and University of Oklahoma. He did get busted for taking money under the table.
What does
So
that have
those
to
are
do
facts.
with him winning
What I'm
yesterday?
saying is that I'm about
Nothing.
to give him his glory. He rebounded, okay? Hopefully he don't get busted again with these blue chip guys that's on the team, okay? Hopefully, okay? But it's a good win, all right? Congratulations to Mr. Sansom. But at the same time, he hurt a lot of programs.
But see,
That's
there's no
it.
need for that, Joseph. You don't got to talk about what happened in the past. We're talking about yesterday. We're not talking about his whole body of work.
Hey,
We're talking about yesterday.
forget about it. Forget about
We're
it.
talking about yesterday, but you don't gotta piss in his Cheerios. Let the man enjoy what he did.
Hello. It's okay. It's still love. It's still love.
It is, but you don't got to go at my man like that. Well, there was another number one
That's
team
your
that was
man's in
upset.
them? Is that your
No,
man's in them?
no, he's talking about man's in them, but you don't got to go after him like that.
Well, it's the truth.
I mean,
bro.
he did cheat though.
Yeah, he cheated, bro.
Tom
He
cheated.
cheater,
Tom
bro.
cheated.
If you cheated, you cheated, bro.
I
I'm gonna
understand
do that with Tom Brady too.
I understand that, but that's like bringing up. So every time, because you've never done anything wrong. So anytime anything says something about you or me, they're gonna say, "Hey, well, Joe did this back when he was a kid. Shawn did this when he was back. He's a good guy now, but you got to remember back then."
Oh yeah, they do that.
Okay,
they do that
but that's not fair, and that's not right.
It's not fair, but it's life, Sean. Okay. Bottom line is that's the truth, bro. That's it.
I understand, dude, but that has nothing to do with yesterday.
I don't know.
That has nothing to do with yesterday. Nothing.
In sports, it's different though, Sean. Like in life, when you make mistakes in real life, I can understand you forgiveness, but if it's a repeat thing. Like he did do it,
he
has been questioned about it before. He's been questioned on his recruiting tactics before. Like I can understand where Joseph coming out. Joseph just leads you out with a left hook. That's right. The whole thing. Joseph leads with the left hook and then follows through with the right, and that's where you're like, whoa, what the hell's going on?
Because what you're talking about is not pertinent to yesterday.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's part of his history, man. What are you talking about?
But it's not. But we're not talking about his history. We're talking about last night. And
Sean,
that's all we're talking about.
You think this is Maury Povich or something?
No, what I'm saying is like we don't need to every time because you don't like someone or someone has a history against them, you don't need to bring that up every single time you want to talk to him.
It's the truth, Ruth.
Okay, I understand, but you don't have to tell the truth all the time. Again,
bro,
that doesn't need to be mentioned.
What are you talking about?
No.
You think I'm gonna lie?
No, but no one said lie. But no, it doesn't need to be brought up. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't need to be brought up.
Sean,
it doesn't need to be brought up.
Sean, your delivery is excellent, Sean. Okay, stick to it. You're excellent at it.
The Arizona Wildcats, unbelievable. Another team upset by Houston last night. This was another game. Houston is no joke. Houston has they you know what they did? They put that same attacking ball defense that they had on Illinois and upsets number one Arizona. And you know what? They are moving on. They're going to move on to the sectional final. And I am shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm shocked Arizona could have come out, but Houston, they got some dogs. They got some goons over there. And they're looking to make a deep run in this tournament.
As they say in the space program in Houston, we have a problem. Yes, they do. From they starting lineup, they PG on down to their center. They got a lot of depth on that bench, and they play both ends of the floor. And the key to winning, advancing pretty much advancing to the Elite Eight or the Final Four, you have to play with intensity on every possession. If you take a possession on, you could just pretty much kiss your chances goodbye. And if you come in lax like Illinois did, thinking they're going to respect us because we're Illinois, or they're going to respect us because we're this team or Kentucky, etc., that's how you get beat. You're beat before the game even started because teams are coming in hungry. So a team like Houston, hey, they took care of their business, and now they continue to advance.
And it was my mistake because I was looking at the red. I got confused. The red uniforms. Musselman is the coach of Arkansas.
You talking about Arkansas? Okay, yeah, Arkansas. That was a huge upset too.
They upset Gonzaga, and because I was so trying to get on Kelvin Sampson, but Sampson's a coach.
Oh, you was trying to protect your boy. I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to protect my boy. He is a coach at Houston. And that's I mixed up the two, Musselman, and because I got confused with both because both teams are red. Also in the tournament, Michigan got trounced yesterday by Villanova, 63-59. Not a trounce, but they got eliminated yesterday. It ends the season for a turbulent season for Michigan and their embattled head coach Juke and Juwan Howard. It's Villanova they're number one for a reason, dude. Villanova are not number one, but they're number two. I'm sorry, for a reason. That's a good team, and they're well coached. Jay Wright has two different national championships, so it's unfortunate. I like John Howard, but they just met their match yesterday in number two Villanova, and hopefully next year he's able to advance, get to the Elite Eight or Final Four. Because I think that would be a great deal if Juwan Howard could take a Michigan team back to the Final Four when he played in two Final Fours.
Yeah, and I know Michigan. I think that was the last Big Ten team to stand, I believe. Because like I said, the team that originally won the Big Ten championship went home in the second round. So Michigan was like our last hope.
Oh, Michigan and Purdue.
And Purdue. I'm sorry. Oh, don't forget about Ivy. I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. They play tonight.
Yep.
my wife's school. But Michigan, they played hard for Coach Howard. Unfortunately, they needed him there because they could have used him in a situation like that when it comes to adjustment, because it's nothing like having the guy at the helm, to be able to counter a lot of the runs that teams make on you in tough situations like this. Assistant coach, most of the times they can't handle sometimes the full-time duty of the head coach. Now, when I say Juwan Howard hurt his team by doing that, I say 50-50, because if he didn't get suspended, I don't know if they'll be motivated to get past the first or second round. But if he did get suspended, they were motivated because he got suspended. They went past the first and second round. But if he did get suspended, he would have had a chance to coach them through a lot of the pressure that a team will have to face on a day-to-day basis in the March Madness.
Well, moving on to the next topic, the Bears made a number of signings. The Bears signed Ryan Bates to an offer sheet. He started at guard for the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bill, he is a restricted free agent, meaning that the Buffalo Bills have 5 days to match that offer. If they do, he is a Buffalo Bill. If they choose not to, he is a Chicago Bear. He's 6'4", 302 pounds. He started a couple of games for them last year. Wasn't a starter his whole tenure with Buffalo, but apparently he has the body type that they want, which means they're going after this guy. Obviously they're very interested in signing him to an offer sheet.
Well, I like the move by Ryan Poles. This is exactly what he wanted as a GM. Now, he said he did mention the fact that he wanted his offensive linemen to be athletic and agile and strong. And I think that's his MO right now. He's going after those type of guys. Now, will Buffalo match them? I think this Tuesday. They have 5 days before they can match them. So hopefully the Bears can keep them in-house, hopefully.
But no, they have 5 days to match it. So before Tuesday, they have to do it. Not on Tuesday, after Tuesday. They have to match it before Tuesday.
Okay, so Tuesday is the actual 5th day.
It's the last day, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so hopefully we can we made the right bid. That's what I care about. We made the right bid.
Buffalo's in a situation. They're about $20,000 under the salary cap, and they have to dump salaries. So This might be there's ways if the Bears if they really want this guy, and we didn't get the numbers on the deal, they can front load the contract. So it would put the Buffalo Bills in a bind. Front load it. Second year he'll make a lot less, but we can get him. We'd be able to get him. So we'll see. We'll see how bad Buffalo wants him. Good. He wasn't a starter. He was a backup, but apparently this is the body type that they want. So, my question then is this: they brought in this guy. They brought in Lucas Patrick. They brought in Dakota Dozier. Does that two questions I have then? Does that mean that we're definitely going to go wide receiver with our first pick in the draft? And two, does it mean that they don't trust Borum and Jenkins, or are they just trying to get, because this guy isn't the number one starter. This guy's not a bona fide, oh my God, we got a left tackle. This guy, do they not trust Jenkins and Borum, or are they just trying to create competition for Jenkins and Borum?
So hopefully, like I said, these guys are excellent, intelligent players. I know that the guy from Green Bay, he did an excellent job with Aaron Rodgers, and the kid from Buffalo, I believe he did an excellent job with the QB over there. So hopefully we got something in the making. Hopefully.
Hey, Joseph, great stuff, Papa. We'll see you on Monday, all right?
All right, guys. God bless. Peace
out. Have a good one. Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering, dude. I'm wondering, is this, this guy's tall. He's 6'4". You want him at guard, and then you also have guard Dakota Dozier. So are these guys just guys? Are these guys just depth? Are they brought in for competition purposes? What do they see? There's a couple of things like Ryan Poles needs to come out and talk with the media. He needs to let us know. These are questions, inquiring minds want to know. Okay, what do you think of your two tackles? Okay, rumor has it there's some articles have written that people in Hallis Hall are not happy with Larry Borum. But I'm looking at him, I'm like, but Larry Borum moves people. All right. It won't be that difficult for him to drop the weight. If this is Larry Borum is a guy who used to love to run downfield and block downfield. I've watched it on tape. So him, zone blocking and cutting guys off, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Sure, he'll have to lose weight, but dude, he's a professional. All right. He's done. I don't see why this is the issue. If it's going to be an issue. I told you, I think those two guys, if left there, can do very well, and it has to do with the run game. And I know they're going to be consistent and committed to the run game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the talent is there with both of them, right? The 300 to 315, that's what I've been saying, that where Ryan Poles wants his offensive lineman to be, about 315, maybe a little lighter on the tackle end, maybe, but about 300 to 315 is what he wants his offensive lineman to be. And if you can't get to that, regardless of what your talent is, if you're able to do your job, I can understand it. But if you're not able to go ahead and just do the very minimum and get down to where they need to be, then we have an issue. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but I could see where Ryan Poles would question younger players and whether they're going to be professional enough to go ahead and drop that weight.
And here's the thing. You want people to fit a box. Okay, I get it. I understand that. But people don't always fit a box. Okay? People don't, you can't tell me, if you looked at, let's go back to who were the guards for the Cowboys? Nate Newton and Larry Allen. Okay? Those dudes were 325, 330 pounds. Those dudes moved like ninjas at that weight. Okay. Now, I understand you have a prototypical size and shape of a lot of the linemen that you want, but if you can get the job done, not being the prototypical type, I hope that Ryan Poles doesn't say you need to do this, look like this, have this amount of body fat. Okay, because some athletes are different. Everybody's different. Because if Larry Borum or Tevin Jenkins or both can play in a where their BMI is not exactly where they want, they have a few more, percentages in body fat, but they can still run and they don't get tired out. Just because you're thinner, doesn't mean you're going to be a better offensive lineman. And I get it. I understand. And he's trying to make his thing, but he's got to also understand if this is the way they play and they can play that style of ball, zone blocking, where I'm on a 45-degree track and I have to run and get a linebacker. I have to get a crossfade. If they can do that on a consistent basis and not get tired at the weight that they're at, or put it this way, because they're going to change. They're going to start. They're not going to play where they were at last year. Say he wants them down 25 pounds and they get down 20 pounds, 19 pounds.
Okay, no, look, I'm not saying that. Look, they're not going to be cut. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They're not. It's not get rid of Larry Borum and Tevin Jenkins. They're two young prospects that have talent. What I'm saying is that they're regardless of what talent they have there, they want more. Mm-hmm. Just getting down to that, that's the bare minimum. Getting down to that weight, that's the bare minimum, because they're going to have guys that have been probably playing at that weight for the longest time, and that's where they sit at all year long, or at least majority of the year, where Larry Borum and Tevin Jenkins look like they're a little heavier set, look like they sit or they walk around at a heavier weight, in the offseason. I'm not saying that they're going to be cut and get rid of them. They're too fat. They're not going to be able to do it, but there's going to be competition regardless. And if you can't get down to that
telling
weight,
me he's bringing him in for competition.
Exactly.
Exactly. If he's done with that, yeah. I have no problem with it. None.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's competition that he mentioned. It's competition from not only those guys, but the guys behind them, because you're one play away from being the next man up.
Yeah. Okay. If you think that's what he's doing, I am complete. I am 100. I agree with you. I co-sign that. I co-sign it. Okay. I definitely co-sign it. All right. I think you're right. I think he might be saying, hey, listen, let's get a whole shitload of guys, because if they're not those guys that can play there, and we don't back up and get guys that can play there, we're screwed. If they are guys that can play there, maybe, not the ideal size and weight and, shape and body composition that we want, but they can play great. But when we go down, we know we got guys behind them. I'm cool with it. There's, there's nothing wrong with competition in sports, in life. There's nothing. Okay. And if this is what he's doing, this is telling me that he's making sure these guys are getting better. If the writing's on the wall, hey, there's no starting jobs for anybody. Anybody. Except for maybe, Lucas Patrick. I mean, I think he's pretty much got it. Sorry, Sam Mustipher. Unless you want to get your ass out and work hard and try and beat him out. Okay? Competition is great. But it also tells me, because they're doing a good job here, I think first pick, they are going wide receiver. Now, one of the other topics is Nick Foles. The Bears have signed Nick. They're about to sign Trevor Siemian to a 2-year deal to be the backup for Justin Fields. That means Nick Foles is expendable. And I just came across the wire that the Bears are actively shopping Nick Foles. Thank you. So here's my thought. Do you move up and try and get into the first round? Okay. Or a better second round pick? Do you trade Nick Foles and one of your second round picks to move up? All right. Because if you want Chris Olave, like if that's your guy, because you want to pair him with Justin Fields, you're going to have to move up. I don't think he's going to be there. He may not. He may be there. I don't think he will. I think he will. I think he ran his ass out of the second round strictly into the first round. Call me crazy.
No,
let's not forget that stupid team up north. They got 2 first round picks.
Oh yeah, what douchebags. Who trades their best receiver? I'm joking. They got 2 first rounders. We got to be aware of that. They're going to go after playmakers, Shawn.
You're damn right they are. So, I don't know. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to bring in. He's a newbie. He is a newcomer to Sports Zone Chicago, the Shawn and Maya in the morning. Dave Holcomb. He covers the Colts for Heavy.com and the Heavy on Colts page. And I want to talk to you a little bit about Coach E. I want to talk a little bit about Coach Williams, the defensive coordinator, and also want to talk to him about AQM, Al-Qadim Muhammad. He's a free agent we signed, defensive end we signed from Indianapolis, who is part of or who's very familiar with Coach Eberflus and Coach Williams. So on the other side of the break, guys, man, you're definitely not going to want to miss this. Dave Holcomb, all right, from Heavy.com. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sport Zone Chicago. NBA Thursday, the Bulls dropped their second straight, 126-109, the loss at New Orleans. The Bulls are 42-31 with the setback. Zach LaVine led the scoring for Chicago with 39 points. Kobe White had 23. The Pelicans got 30 points from Devontae Graham, 25 from CJ McCollum, and a double-double from Jonas Valanciunas. Up next for the Bulls, they'll try and snap the skid tomorrow night when they visit Cleveland. The Blackhawks put a 2-game winning streak on the line tomorrow when they visit the Vegas Golden Knights. Chicago with a 4-3 win at Los Angeles yesterday. Alex DeBrincat had the shootout winner. Colin Delia made 43 saves through overtime in just his second start of the season. Spring training Thursday, the Angels beat the Cubs 5-4. Today, it'll be the Cubs taking on the Rockies. The Giants beat the White Sox 9-6. Today, the Sox will face the Mariners. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. We're waiting for our guy, newcomer to Shawn and Maya in the morning, Dave Holcomb, and I did tell. But you know what? While we wait for Dave, we're welcome. Here's my man's 50 grands coming off of 15 Under Center podcasts he did in the last 2 days. My man, Kenneth Davis. Kenneth, what's up, Papa? How are you?
What's poppin', man? What's going on? It's been a busy week.
I know. You're hosting the Rush. You're guesting on the Rush. The 17 Under Center podcasts that you had. You know, like one every 3 hours. Like, dude, what is this? Was that like a diet pill?
did 670 a couple days ago.
Look at you.
Yeah, shut up.
Big pimping.
No, it's just
that's what they call it, Kenneth Davis.
We put in the work. Man. You guys know how it is.
Hey, yeah.
So how's everything with you, my friend?
Things are good, man. Things are good.
How's mom doing? I haven't asked you that in a minute.
Mom's good. We had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and everything was all. Everything is good. Everything's good.
I like that's what I want to hear.
She got cataract surgery on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's gonna be seeing better. But what they did when they took the kidney stone out last week, they put that she was in the ICU. It was a mistake. But her primary called me. Was like, dude, we got to get her in. I don't know if she can go under anesthesia. I was like, what? And then I was like, because I didn't, dummy me. I didn't even look at it. And so we get there, and the doc's asking all kinds of questions, kind of nervous. And I'm like, she's fine. Yeah. Like, well, did she come home? I'm like, yeah, the same day. I'm like, yeah. She goes, she didn't go in the ICU. I'm like, no, why? And then she showed me. I'm like, oh my God, doc, no, she wasn't in the ICU. That's a typo, but from their part. She's like, oh, that's why I wanted to see you today because so the blood pressure is good, blood sugar was good, or oxygen was good. So she's ready to roll. She's he's over there watching some craziness. I don't know. So
all right, you got to get it right. It's summertime is coming.
I told her. I told her, so we got to make some adjustments. I said, you got to roll, mama. I said, it's summertime shy. You can't be acting a fool staying in the house.
Right. She got to get out there in the streets.
Yeah, she got to run them streets with her son.
You got to, exactly. Devon, you got to, find maybe someplace to go to maybe learn, but maybe start a podcast and get some guests and grind for like a decade. Like emphasis on grind for like a decade.
Right. A decade.
For real. Like, I mean, I think the first time I saw Shawn was maybe 8 years ago. All right. Because I went to ICB, which was IMS before Shawn, but I remember seeing Shawn sitting in the lobby in a suit the first time I saw Shawn. So, I mean, just think. So I've been doing this now for 12 years. And I mean, as far as him being an athlete, then transitioning, this has been about 10 at least.
Mm-hmm.
So but hopefully you can do it a lot quicker than that. All right.
Yeah.
But it's really repetition. Keep going, perfecting. And, go at it and don't quit. If you don't quit, you'll end up someplace. Believe me.
You will. Well, listen, our first guest, and Ken's not a guest because Ken's he's like family.
Nice.
He's like family. Ken's the kind of guy that, certain family, you don't even lock, they just come in. You don't lock the door. You don't do. You just come in. That's how Ken is. Ken just comes in. But our next guest is the first time here on Shawn and Maya in the morning. He's a Colts writer for Heavy at NFL for Heavy.com. I got a lot of questions for him about a couple of people. So looking forward to seeing him. You can find him on Twitter at DM Holcomb. Guys, let's welcome to Shawn and Maya for the first time, Dave Holcomb. Dave, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing well, man.
Good.
Doing well. Thank you for asking. Let's get right to it. So we got your guy over there. We got your guy, Coach E.
Right.
I'm excited for what I've seen on tape. From his, as coach, as a defensive coordinator over there after the whole crazy situation with Josh McDaniels, who I still don't like for other reasons, in addition to that, but I digress. Is he really that type of guy? Like, is he for 17 games now? Is he going to be rah, in your face, motivating like that? Or is that just kind of for the show? Because if it's for real, dude, I'm really, really, really excited, man.
Yeah, I think it's for real. I think the Bears kind of went opposite of what Matt Nagy gave them, more of a culture coach than a guy that's genius or X's and O's coach. So I expect a lot of that rah stuff from Eberflus as the head coach in Chicago.
What about his whole accountability? He talks about he has the HITS program or the HITS concept, not program, the HITS concept, and it seems like he's holding people accountable. Does he do that? Is he true to his word? Because that's something we're not used to here in Chicago, because Matt Nagy, he didn't hold a damn person accountable for anything here in Chicago.
Facts.
Yeah, and he comes from, the Frank Reich tree, who I think he's all about accountability as well. And is you saw it with the comments with Carson Wentz. I think he's very loyal to his players as well. I think you'll see that from Eberflus, but yet also see that accountability on the field, unlike what Nagy was doing.
Let me ask you this, because we on the Under Center podcast here, we were early on Flus, right? Our reporter Alex Shapiro, he was one of the person that brought him up, and of course JJ Stankovich, who works for the Colts now, used to be the host before I took over being the host or whatever, and he told us a lot about Matt Eberflus. When you're looking at this defense, how flexible, and that's one of the things it seems like with some of the things the Colts did in the past. A lot of times you're looking at being in the zone, but these guys did play a decent amount of man last year. How flexible is he to stay within the scheme, but give different variants of the scheme depending on who they're playing, but also the strengths at the team at that point?
Yeah, I think this is a characteristic of Reich, and Eberflus falls right in it. That he, I think, much better than Nagy, adjusts to his personnel, adjusts to the team that they're playing as well. So I would say he's pretty flexible in terms of, you're not going to see exactly what he did with the Colts because it's different players. Right. But I think he'll adjust to the players that he has in Chicago on defense and game to game, opponent to opponent. You're going to see a different game plan for Aaron Rodgers than Trevor Lawrence from Eberflus.
Do you think Now, did it hurt the Colts? Because I'm asking, is this a plus for the Bears? Of the Bears signing Al Quadin Muhammad, I hopefully said that properly. Like, I know last year was the first year he really got a ton of reps. Yeah, got off. So is it like, we lost him, or is it like, yeah, okay, he's gone, whatever?
Somewhere in between, I would say.
Okay.
He's I don't think he's a replacement for Khalil Mack necessarily.
Damn, that's what I was praying for.
I think that's what Bears
this interview's over. It's over.
Right. But he's a nice player, bursting out his 6th round pick. So he's a nice story. Got 6 sacks last year. But if you look at some of the analytics, Pro Football Focus has him, I think he was the 12th ranked defender on the Colts defense last year. So did he benefit from playing with a pretty good Colts defensive line? Yeah, I would probably say yes. And now without Khalil Mack, how does he fit into the Bears? That would be my biggest question. Are they counting on him being the guy? If that's
no, they just want him to be the run stopper dude.
Right.
Kind of how they look. Yeah.
And I think his weakest point and why he had a kind of a low grade at Pro Football Focus is his tackling. And tackling, as you guys know, is a lot of it is effort. So, I mean, maybe, a little bit more practice, a little bit more, effort from him in tackling will get that grade up. Because he graded pretty well against the run and pretty good in pass rush. So those are positives for Chicago, for sure.
Guys, we're joined by Dave Holcomb, who writes for the Colts, or writes about the Colts for Heavy.com, talking a little Chicago Bears football now with some of his former people over there, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm not a big PFF guy per se. I don't, but I digress. So you're saying he's going to be a better in a rotation type deal as opposed to an every down guy, or is he going to be an every down guy? Because he was starting to ascend last year. He's a good run stopper, as PFF said. He graded well. But he's a good run stopper. You've seen, and I've watched him on tape. He does get to the quarterback very, very efficiently as well. Do you think he's going to be the guy, or do you think he's going to be in a rotation, or would he be best in a rotation?
I think he would probably be best in a rotation, but I think he could be a very quality starter if you have bookend him with another elite pass rusher. I think that's really what the goal would be, and the best situation for him. He started last year for the Colts and did well against 6 sacks, getting to the quarterback, as you say, on tape. So, but I don't think he's going to be, I don't think he's a Pro Bowler. I think he's going to be a guy that is a very serviceable starter next to or opposite of a Pro Bowler.
Well,
is there any fear? Because I think this would kind of give us an idea on perhaps what we got. Because if I had a really good defensive coordinator and he left and took a large chunk of the staff, I would be fearful of slippage on the defensive side. And at the beginning of this interview, you've mentioned Frank Wright a lot, but usually, not to say that, what he wants doesn't disseminate to both sides of the ball, but usually if a coach is one side, as far as him being a former quarterback, backup quarterback, and then you have a defensive coordinator who's basically, that's his side of the ball, you would look at it as that guy's running that side. Is there a fear that the Colts defense will probably not be as strong because of what Matt Eberflus brought to it?
If there is a fear, I haven't seen it from fans on social media or among the team, seeing Chris Ballard do his interviews. I think they're very confident in Gus Bradley. He's been around a long time. He put together that Seahawks defense a long time ago. Maybe didn't get credit for it because kind of left before it became really dominant. But I think they're very confident that he's going to come in and they're going to, hit the ground running with Gus Bradley running the show now.
So you guys just didn't appreciate the Flusy, is what you're saying.
Maybe that.
You will rule the day that you let Flus get out. I'm joking. I hope so. I'm just that's what we hope here. I guess is kind of the sentiment that you hope you picked up someone special, that somebody would be like, damn, even though you have a really good coach, but that's what we're hoping here. But we have to wait and see. It's a wait and see thing. You really can't prognosticate about what's going to take place. You have to wait and see what happens with it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me about our new DC. He's a guy that you're familiar with as well, Coach Williams. He's taken over as the DC as what I think Coach Eberflus in his first major decision. I thought that was the smartest thing to do. I'm only the head coach. I am not calling the defense. I
Yeah.
thought that was huge for him because people don't understand how difficult it is to be a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator, and preparing for that. But not only that, now you got to worry about the special teams. Now you worry about the other side of the ball that you're not in charge of. There's a whole bunch of things, and if you haven't been a head coach at any level, especially in the NFL, who've been able to do that, it's a very difficult task to ask somebody in their first head coaching gig to be a play caller, defensive play caller, offensive play caller, and the head coach, because there's a lot of responsibilities. So I was very happy that he said, no, I'm just going to be the CEO. But talk to me about this defensive coordinator that we got, Coach Williams. Is he basically a chip off the old block? How in sync are those two? Because if you're giving me the answer that I want to hear, I just got goosebumps again because I loved Eberflus's defense the last couple of seasons. And if it's going to be pretty much the carbon copy of that effort and all that other stuff, holy shnikes.
Yeah, I think you will see that. I think Williams is another kind of rah-rah coach. From what I read, Reich quotes on Williams. He has a lot of energy at practice, really good at running drills. That was in the Chicago Tribune. So, yeah, I think it's a good hire. He's inexperienced. He hasn't. Well, actually, I guess I wouldn't say he's inexperienced because it's been 10 years since he was a coordinator, but he has been around a while and has been a coordinator before with the Vikings about 10 years ago, and then became a defensive backs coach after that, and has been with the Colts for 3 or 4 years. So I think he's served his time and proved that he should get another shot as a defensive coordinator.
What other coach? So look at someone like Xavier Rhodes, who isn't the player that he was when he was with the Minnesota Vikings. And we know at one point he was getting flamed all over the field. And for a player who at his peak, that would be crazy to see or say.
Yeah.
How did he play last year? And are there any other Colts free agents that the Bears, and I'm not saying the Bears do want him, but just looking at the fact that the Bears need cornerbacks, that the Bears perhaps would go after because they have holes or missing those players on their roster as of right now?
I think it is kind of shocking how Rhodes is. I mean, I thought he was on his way to being, one of the elite corners in the league for a long time, and that just hasn't, it hasn't happened. His decline has come quickly, and he was okay. He was serviceable as a cornerback. He's probably best in not in that number one spot anymore. So anybody who signs him has to understand that he's going to be your number 2 or number 3, and if he's starting, maybe you have an injury at cornerback. He's more of a depth guy at this point, maybe than a true number 1, shut down corner. I just don't think he's that anymore. As far as other free agents, I'm looking at the list right now. Defensive players. Maybe Andrew Sadejo. I'm not sure, the safety position for the Bears off the top of my head, but Sadejo is a guy that has been around, a veteran. Could the Bears use somebody like him to maybe teach the guys the system that Eberflus and Williams are bringing in? That's probably the one name that jumps off the page to me of other free agents from the Colts the Bears might be interested in.
Interesting. Guys, we're with Dave Holcomb, Colts writer for Heavy.com, talking some Bears football right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm really excited. I'm looking to see, because this guy, one of the things that he did, and he said he reached out to a lot of the alumni of the Chicago Bears. So he reached out to young, newer, more current, and old. He said he talked to Butkus, Texas Dick Butkus, Urlacher, Briggs, Peanut. I guess one of the things is, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to phrase this question. How much do loafs count? Because I know one of the things that he talked about that. Everyone talked about here, loafs. And if you're not in the screen, how much does that count? Because we have a safety here, and you mentioned the safety. You didn't know about the safety situation. We got a good safety. Well, initially was a good safety, Eddie Jackson, who hasn't been living up to his contract after he signed it. How much is that going to affect like Los, and how do you think that dynamic is going to work? Because it sounds like he talks a tough game, talking Eberflus and accountability and this, but now you got a guy who first of all, a high paid guy who seems to take a lot of plays off and make business decisions as opposed to football.
Well, I don't think that's gonna fly with Eberflus. I'm not saying he's going to bench Eddie Jackson or anything like that, but
I hope he does.
I just don't think he. From my experience watching Eberflus and his defense, that's something he doesn't put up with. So it will be interesting to see how he pairs with somebody like Eddie Jackson, and do they bring in a Sadejo to put pressure on Jackson? I don't know, but from what I've seen, Eberflus doesn't like the loafs as you call them.
So I guess last question before we let you go, and we appreciate the time. How much man did they play last year in Indianapolis? Because you got the Tampa 2, that basic system. Do they stick predominantly to that, or do they play a lot of man, some man, a little bit? How do they, or is that basically contingent on their personnel as well?
I would say it's more contingent on the personnel. Honestly, I need to go back and watch the tape again myself. I just became the Colts writer at Heavy a couple weeks ago, so I haven't gotten a chance to really dive into tape on the team from last year. Just from what I watched last fall live, I think it's a lot of, again, like I said before, influx, playing based on their personnel and based on the opponent that they're playing each week.
Dave, real quick,
Sure.
What team was you following before the Colts?
I've done a lot of Atlanta Falcons. I live in Atlanta.
Okay. So what's your thoughts on the state of the Falcons right now?
Man,
especially with your quarterback situation, where it's like you guys could have taken care of that problem last year.
It's a mess. I think it's an absolute mess what's going on with the Falcons. There is, I think 2023 will be more positive. There's going to be more salary cap space. They finally admitted that they're just going to rebuild. And maybe that's what they should have done last year, admitted that, rather than going back and forth between we can win, but we're going to build for the future. They seem to be caught in between early in this new regime for the Falcons, and letting Justin Fields go, or not drafting Justin Fields and letting him go to the Bears is we'll see if they end up regretting that. I think it would be a mistake drafting a quarterback in this draft because the class is so weak compared to last year. But maybe they draft Kenny Pickett and that works out fine. We'll see. But I think it's an absolute crime, I guess, that they did not plan enough ahead of time. That either you trade Matt Ryan last year or you hold on to him for 2 years. The in between and going for Watson. Matt Ryan didn't even want to leave until they went for Watson. So going for Watson, then missing on him, which was just, and him wanting to go to Cleveland instead of Atlanta was a slap in the face. And and then alienating your 14-year Hall of Fame quarterback in the process was just.
I feel you.
It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. And I find it so ironic. I've been covering the Falcons for a couple years, and I leave to go cover the Colts, and Matt Ryan's following.
And now Matt Ryan's going with you. He's like, no, sir.
So was that part of the trade package? You had to accompany Matt Ryan?
Maybe, I don't know. I do like watching Matt Ryan, and he's a great professional, so I will enjoy watching him with the Colts this fall for sure.
Well, cool, good stuff. But at least the Falcons have a beautiful stadium. That's all I got to say.
They do. They do have a really nice stadium. Yeah.
Hey, Dave, great stuff, buddy. But before you go, do me a favor. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Sure. Yeah. Check out heavy.com. We started the Indianapolis Colts page just when free agency started. So check out Colts news there. I'm on Twitter at DM Holcomb. And guys, I host a YouTube show on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern time, so 11 a.m. if you're in Chicago.
Mhm.
And my co-host is in Chicago. He's a Bears fan. So we mostly cover the Falcons for that channel, but we also cover the major NFL news. And we talk about Justin Fields and the Bears quite often because my co-host is in Chicago. So check out Atlanta Sports Unlimited is the YouTube channel.
Who's your co-host?
Tom Pollen.
Tom Pollen. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, no problem with shameless plugs, man. We're trying to help everybody and make it. It's more than enough out here for everybody to get, more than enough pieces of pie for everybody. So, hey, good stuff, man. I appreciate it. I will definitely reach back out to you in the future when it comes to Colts stuff. Or if I want to hear anything more about Coach Flus or Coach Williams.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Have a good weekend. All right, cool, man. I'm feeling more and more comfortable with Coach Flus and Coach Williams. I really want to, I want to feel.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing to me was this, because you don't know. And like, we can't sugarcoat it. We have to be honest. You don't know. One, he's never been in this position before in the professionals as far as being the head coach, but he's detail oriented. And it sounds like a decent amount of stuff that we got from Lovey, right? You hope he's better than Lovey. You know what I'm saying? But starting off with, if he can get around Lovey's defense and the offense works, we know we're cooking with grease. Because the problem with Lovey is the offense really didn't work. But when you're talking about the fact that they had as much talent on the defense that they had, but we're not sticklers for detail, is mind-blowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we talked about this, like, it was too many times guys with their arms up like this, looking around, like that Spider-Man picture where it's the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he can sit there and have them pay attention to the little things we do, and we fly. All right, we fly. Speed, especially even if you really think about it, Shawn, and we talked about this last week, as far as, with the Tampa, with Tampa, the way that you really win at that defense was to run the ball basically at Warren Sapp. You know what I'm saying? Because he's really there. Not to say Warren Sapp couldn't do anything, but he's there to collapse the pocket in the passing game. The way you didn't want to go is to run away from their speedsters because they ran your ass down, right? This isn't even that NFL nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't, that was even the middle of the odds was still a much more physical NFL than the NFL of today. So now it benefits you. And it reminds me of the NBA. Like, there's guys in the NBA that are bigs that it would have been, not to say it would have been impossible, but it would have been difficult for them to be bigs in the 80s and 90s because their asses would have been moved out the paint, right? But you don't have big players to move them out as much. The NFL's like that to a degree where the big physicality is not there as often. Speed is even more of an asset. You know what I'm saying? So if you got these guys balling and speed, and this defense is covering up a lot of the funk because these guys know what the hell they're doing and they're reacting instead of thinking about it. You're cooking. If he can get them, that's not going to happen at the beginning of the next year. That's something that we have to look at after like week 10. You know what I'm saying? To where you should start seeing like, oh yeah, they getting it. Not saying that hopefully it doesn't happen earlier, but it's going to take them a minute before, to the point that I'm making, to their reacting instead of thinking. This is a new system for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take a minute for that system to become ingrained and become innate in them, rather than being something that they're learning. Rather than something that's just a part of their fibers, which you hope becomes later on in the year.
Defenses they tend to pick up a little quicker than offenses.
Yeah,
when you have a new system.
Definitely.
So with Coach E and Coach Williams, both literally being on the same page because they're coming from the same spot.
Right.
Same power structure. Coach E is over Coach Williams again. You get AQM. You know what, Ken? I don't like your shirt, Papa.
Oh, appreciate it.
I got my old school one on.
Oh, okay, all right.
I got the 70s one, baby. 70s one.
Yeah, I see the red. You're right.
Yeah.
I see you.
I'm actually gonna order. I'm gonna order a shirt. I was talking to my
guy.
My guy. All right, and yeah, I want to get this one.
Oh,
Dick Allen
that's
jersey.
Sweet. That's
Yeah.
sweet. That's sweet. That's sweet.
So we're talking. I don't know if I want my name on the back. I always want my name on the back, but like
Okay.
that, they didn't have the names on the back then. Like, so I
You
just
don't
get
want
the
your
regular
name on the back.
33.
You don't want your name on the back. Do it the way it was done.
All right, I have enough of my name. You know what? Okay, that's true because I got the Field of Dreams jersey from my guy, and I didn't get my name on the back. So
Yeah.
So okay, all right, okay. Yeah, but that's dope. That red's tight.
It is. It
That's
is.
tight.
It is.
That's-
It is. I never I never got why they were wearing red back then. It was always like weird. Like, wait, which socks are we? Like, why did they have red as a primary color at one point?
When there's a Red Sox team over
It was like
out
what?
east.
Okay.
Wait, wasn't dark blue? Wasn't dark blue like one of the primary colors as well? Yeah, remember they had the shorts and everything like that, but they had the collars, they had the dark blue collars.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That was the shorts and the pimp collars. That was some different.
That was Chet Lemon 44. I remember Chet Lemon, dude. Chet Lemon, Oscar Gamble. You know those dudes.
Don't remember none of those guys. Ring a bell.
Yeah, because you're a little younger. They were that was my first started watching the White Sox. When I first started, Chet Lemon. Yeah, that was good stuff, dude. That was good stuff. Hey, we gotta take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, man, we got some NCAA to talk.
We do?
Ken. Ooh,
You sure you want me to sing a riff for that?
Yes, we do.
All right.
and we got a little baseball to talk. So let's get to the break and get to the other side of it. Stick with us, guys. Shawn and Maya in the morning. I'm here with my man Ken Davis right here on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. NBA Thursday, the Bulls dropped their second straight 126-109 the loss at New Orleans. The Bulls are 42-31 with the setback. Zach LaVine led the scoring for Chicago with 39 points. Kobe White had 23. The Pelicans got 30 points from Devontae Graham, 25 from CJ McCollum, and a double-double from Jonas Valanciunas. Up next for the Bulls, they'll try and snap the skid tomorrow night when they visit Cleveland. The Blackhawks put a 2-game winning streak on the line tomorrow when they visit the Vegas Golden Knights. Chicago with a 4-3 win at Los Angeles yesterday. Alex DeBrincat had the shootout winner. Colin Delia made 43 saves through overtime in just his second start of the season. Spring training Thursday, the Angels beat the Cubs 5-4. Today, it'll be the Cubs taking on the Rockies. The Giants beat the White Sox 9-6. Today, the Sox will face the Mariners. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport. Yeah. It's a romance sport. Yeah, it's a romance sport like that.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby, and I am fired.
No, it's not. It's cold. It'll be cold. Like, dude, Mother Nature, please. The 30 degrees now. It's April almost. We need this to be over with, man. I can't. What are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? I mean, I'm looking at.
What are you doing?
You know what? I didn't have much until last night. I saw 47 today, 40 tomorrow, 37, 40 on Sunday, 40 Monday, 42 rainy Tuesday, 60 on Wednesday, 48 on Thursday, and rainy and partly possible snow. Yeah, it's a little bipolar. I don't have much today. I don't have anything. And you know what? Yesterday, what came up for me was a friend of mine. I've known her for years. She just started DJing last year. And
Really?
So she got it. Yeah. So
what type of music?
House music, hip hop.
I was about to say house music.
Yeah. And Spanish rock, Spanish music as well.
Okay.
And because her friend was supposed to teach her, he's a DJ, and then COVID hit. So she's like a year and a half, almost 2 years behind of where she was. But she got a gig. It's at the Branding Iron, that bar. We're not giving them a cheap plug. Right by SeatGeek Stadium, that bar.
Okay.
They got a little small little shopping center there. They got a breakfast lunch spot called Crave, which is okay. It's pretty good.
I think I must have driven past. I believe I've seen Crave before. So
yeah, it's literally at the other end. It's at the opposite
Okay.
end. Crave's on one end, and the other end is Branding Iron.
Okay.
And so she's DJing there tomorrow. And I was like, you know what? I don't really have much to go tomorrow. I was like, you know what? Let me go see her name.
Yeah.
We call her Smalls, but there was already a DJ named Smalls. So she called it. Her name is Shortstop, DJ Shortstop.
I like it.
Yeah, because she's vertically challenged.
Okay. I took that from Smalls.
Yep. You're quick.
Yeah, DJ Shortstop. I like it.
Did you see? Hey, dude, did you see the any of the games yesterday? The NCAA games yesterday at all?
Not really.
No. Oh, okay.
No.
Well, 2 number 1 seeds were upset, and I'll tell you, I was fired up, dude. Gonzaga got upset.
Yeah, I did. Another reason why I was happy. Listen, you know what made me so happy yesterday that I didn't pick up a bracket? Because I would have had Gonzaga winning the whole damn thing, right? Like all the work, every day it comes out where it's like, I'm so happy I didn't go in because the teams that I would have picked would have been gone, and I've been pissed that I've been out of the money. When I saw Gonzaga lost yesterday, I was like, boy, I'm telling you, won't he do it? Yeah, I did see that. I did see that Gonzaga was knocked out. Who else? Who was the other number one that got knocked out?
The other number 1 was Arizona. Arizona got knocked out by Houston.
I never trust Arizona.
Yeah,
you know
that's just shit.
Unless it's Luke Olsen was really there. You talking about Sean Miller and all the stuff that he did as far as cheating and stuff, but I'm just saying in general, even when Luke Olsen was there, they could have the whip and they would only one time did they actually pull it off. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to think of the team, like Shawn something. He went to the NBA, he went to the Spurs.
They had Bibby, they had Simon. You had Jason Terry coming off the bench, I believe. Back with those, that was the only team that actually finally, with all the talent that Arizona had throughout the last 30 years, that finally pulled it off, I believe.
Damn it! Now it's really bothering me. Wow, I can't think of who their stud was. He went. I just had it too. Damn it! He was on the Spurs. He was number 32. He had
Sean
the knee
Elliott,
brace.
Sean Elliott.
There you go.
Yeah, Sean
Elliott.
Used to mess Scottie Pippen up with that first step.
Yeah, with the big old offensive lineman knee brace and everything.
Right, totally.
Devon said he got Duke winning it all. I hope they don't. I'm mad at Coach K. Bump him.
I'm kind of fine if Coach K wins it all, man.
Yeah,
I am. I won't lie about it. Because it gives you the storyline. It's like, all right, cool, get your ass out of here. I'm kind of like Duke. Like, to me, it's like now with everything being over, it's like, yeah, go ahead, Duke, and get your little funky title in before Coach K leaves and gives the team over. Because listen, the funny thing is Now it's going to be funny to see what Duke does. That is finally going to be in the same lane that North Carolina was after Dean Smith retired. But it's like, let's see, all right, if John Shire is really the chosen one. Or are you guys going to have to rotate through some guys before you finally get that guy? Because, I mean, it is Duke. But still, it's going to depend on who that lead dog is.
Duke was Duke because of Coach K.
Yeah, but listen, UNC was UNC because of Dean Smith. And finally, Dean Smith went and told Roy Williams, it's time. Right?
You get your ass back here.
It's time to come home. You know what I'm saying? So
from Kansas.
Hey, I told you one day I was coming, right? It's that day.
So that's why, you know, it'll carry its gravitas. It's gonna have that gravitas for a while because
a long time, dude. Like, Duke, I mean, you got to think how many generations Duke has been from this one and done generation. Duke became. Think about it. At first, Kentucky was the one and done school. You know what I'm saying? Like when you really look at it, he had taken advantage of the one and done because Coach K didn't want to do it, right? And then Coach K was like, I need it.
I got to do it.
I got to do it. And they became a one and done school. So you got all these next generation of kids where Duke has been on their radar. Duke is still going to be Duke.
Was it Elton Brand who started it?
No, Elton Brand was a sophomore when he left. Elton Brand was a sophomore. Corey Maggette was a freshman that year and left, and Coach K didn't like that.
Yeah. He was just like, I'm ahead of the trend, Papa. This was happening.
Corey Maggette was like, man, I'm about to get paid. They say they're gonna draft me around here. Deuces.
Hey, peep this. So our guy Kingley Man says he's watching MLB top 10 players at position for 2022, and our White Sox have players at damn near every position on the list and several at the pitching. I was excited. We're talented, dude. We're talented. You know, I can guarantee you didn't have one. They probably didn't have it at catcher. I mean, yeah, unless you're just talking offensive stats.
They didn't have it. No, they didn't have it at second. Well, depending on how they rated Lurie. But I mean, listen, that's all fine and dandy.
Don't forget about the Harrison. I said Davidson. The Harrison guy.
They need another pitcher. Right?
I agree.
I agree. Pitcher. Like, let's stop playing. All this you can wait till the trade deadline. Sounds cute and stuff. You never know who may get hurt. You keep going into every year like everyone's going to be fine. They never are. You need another top of the end of the rotation guy in the rotation. And that way we won't be able to poke as many holes as the fact that you didn't lock down second. You know what I'm saying? And I think we've been, for the most part, we've been fine with platooning right. But even still getting, like, you know what? Even still getting a guy like what's the name that he played for the Pirates that played for the Phillies the last couple of years that was MVP.
Yeah. They called that was Pittsburgh. It was Willie. No,
you know, whatever. I don't know why I'm blanking out.
Yeah, because he had the dreads.
Yes, and then he cut him off. But like, even if you went in and got someone in his old age like him,
Andrew McCutchen.
If you went out and got Andrew McCutchen and been like, look, you getting 3 days out here, you know, but we got these guys. Even if you would have just said, all right, we got this guy too to be involved in that. We're all kind of okay with the talent that's at right. You know what I'm saying? With what they may be able to do. But like, dude, you can't pull punches when you're right here in this window, man. You can't close the purse strings right now. It's not time to be like, let's nitpick. It's like, dude, you got to get over the hump. Like, they haven't gotten over the hump yet as far as winning a series in the playoffs, right? Like, they have not won a playoff series in the last decade. All right. Like, they have to do that, let alone go deep into the playoffs. And you can't half step. Ain't no half stepping, man.
Ain't no half stepping. I agree with you. And you know what? I agree with you, Ken. You go get a number one that you say when you sign him, everyone's like, oh shit.
Right.
They're for real.
Dude. That's
it. Dude. In one game playoff, everybody on that rotation knows he gets the ball.
Right.
He gets the ball. I don't care if he's on 2 days rest, he gets the ball. That's the dude. That's what they need, because that pushes everybody else down. And that pushes, and it takes Lucas Giolito, who's looking good to start off with, pushes him back. He's not the ace. I don't think he was. Lanston, it puts everybody down, takes a lot of pressure off of everybody.
And you could have done that for free. You could have done that without trading anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that you should have just said. Look, they need to have abundance of pitching where it's like, damn, we didn't really need dude. You need to be like that rather than being like, man, if we only had
yes.
You need to be, because dude, it's just there's no reason, man. And I'm with you. I'm happy, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat that there's some things that they could have done that would have made me happier. You know, because sometimes I love my team so much, I'm going along and it's like, nah, dude, you should have done some more with this. And I'm not blaming Rick Hahn, because we know it's not Rick Hahn. We know if Rick Hahn could go and do what he wanted to do, they probably would have had a position player they would have signed with some name on them, some cachet, and a pitcher would have been signed if Rick Hahn could do whatever the hell he wanted to do, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know. I'm not too bearish or too down on this Harrison guy. Like, he's not. I don't anticipate him being here for 10 years. He's not part of the core.
Me either.
But I think he's a former Gold Glove. He's a guy who can basically get the job done for a while. You know what I mean? Like it seems like he is defensively, he'll be fine. And for me, that's all I really care about defensively.
What if it's another Cesar Hernandez situation where you're getting, and he's younger, Hernandez is younger than Harris, but you're getting into where you're hoping to get him on his best day, and he doesn't have his best days. This is another thing too, without steroids, quote unquote, if he's not used. With baseball, it just may not be your year. If you're not juicing, like you could, when we grew up, guys just had off years. Guys that were Hall of Famers just hit like, damn, Shorty's hitting 260 this year, right? And it's just he just had a year, and anybody can have that when I'm saying this. But what if you're looking to catch lightning in a bottle to a certain degree, and he doesn't have it, to where if you perhaps gotten someone that's younger, the chances increase that he can catch lightning in a bottle. I'm not upset, but it's the nitpickingness of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that you're not the Dodgers, but the Dodgers don't play. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, Freddie Freeman, we don't need you, but hey, why not? Right? Like, you sometimes you have to play with the big boys. And White Sox ownership isn't poor, and this isn't a small market. There are going to be more people going through those turnstiles that have gone through there in a decade. All right, they're going to have more. They've been setting it up now to where you've had 2 years. 1 year we couldn't go in the stadium, right? But you would have had crazy fans in there then, right? Then
you had a shitload last year.
But at the beginning of the year, they was limited, and then it opened it up to everybody, right? So now we've been fiending. The team is good. The season, you sold more season tickets than you've sold in a long period of time. You making more money off that Like, we don't talk about the revenue streams the White Sox have outside of what's deemed baseball money. They have more than that. All right. Like, that's the thing where these owners, and when we had Tab Forbes on here before, are really tricky from remember the silver shop, the thing the White Sox did like 10 years ago, where it's like, man, they're going to make a lot of money off of this. We don't know if they're going to allocate to baseball. They got money. All right. Stop acting like you just own a boutiques or something. You have some dollars, all right, and spend the damn money while you have this window and take advantage of it. Because you're going to have to, there's going to be times where you're going to have to add a little bit more. And there are going to be some times where you'll be like, you know what? Let's keep our powder dry, because even though this seems like this may be the opportunity, if we wait a year, so-and-so's coming off the books, this kid's coming up out of the farms, you know what I'm saying? But we're in a period right now where it's like, put some ones on top of them twos, on top of them threes. That's the period we're in right now. And it's like, I want it all. Like, that's the thing too. Why it's like, don't be ashamed to want more. I want it all. I don't want to, oh yeah, it was good. We made it to this, and then I don't want that.
I don't either. And there's 3 things that I would want. Like, I'm okay with that platoon and right. I am more than okay.
I can accept that. I can accept. I'm more than okay with it.
You know why? Because those dudes are boppers. It don't matter. It don't give a damn who you put in there. Put Gavin Sheets, Andrew Vaughn, even Adam Engel got a lot more pop in his bat.
Yeah.
All right, and at defense. Come on, man.
And the thing is, because you have Engel, you feel like, okay, because everyone doesn't need to be a killer. We're not saying that everyone has to hit 30 home runs. All right. No, so that's I'm with you, but that's some reason why you didn't have to play around with second. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like, we're gonna get a dude. Well, you can be like, man, we're gonna get a guy. And then the thing is too, y'all can move. You can spend money this season and trade that dude next year. Like, we don't have to, if you decided, not to say he would have came here, but to give Trevor Story 140 to play second here, right? And then be like, yeah, but we're not going to really keep him, right? You know what I'm saying? And use that asset to get, like, you don't have to, yes, you don't have to keep them, but this is a year to take advantage of. We can get it done. Like, what teams in the American League are you afraid of as a White Sox fan? Right? So now all you have to worry about, really, not to say that, I'm not saying there's not teams that can beat the Sox. We know that. But all you have to worry about is the NL. So now you have to get there. So don't limit yourself from getting there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now's not the time to act like a small market team, which we've done for so long.
It's not.
Now's the time where here's where Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk.
Right. Great point.
You got to say, okay, here our window was wide open. All right. We saw on the north side, it was open for 4 years. Yep. All right. And there's no guarantee it's going to be open for 4 years for us.
It's
right.
Not.
And it wasn't guaranteed for them. They wanted it longer, and it happened to be 4. For us, it could be 3. This could be year 1.
Could be 3.
Or last year could have been
This could be year 2. This could be year 2. You know, you don't know who. You keep making it seem like these players are going to keep. Remember, the Cubs analogy is great. Schwarber was supposed to be Babe Ruth. Mm-hmm. I'm not dissing it, but I'm just saying, remember how people kept talking about how these players were – Javi was supposed to stay at that MVP level after he had gotten to that point. You know what I'm saying? Chris Bryant got hurt. Anthony Rizzo got older. You know what I'm saying? Where you kept thinking, oh, yeah, these guys – and no, these guys – Eloy may only get a little bit better. Yeah. Robert's going to be a stud. We know that. So that's just, hey, it is what it is, right? But with the rest of, who the hell is Yoan Moncada? Like, that's still the truth. Like, which guy is he? You know what I'm saying? Who are these pitchers?
That's the guy right there. I knew it was coming up. I'd be like, oh, let me find that picture.
Right. Like, dude, like Lance Lynn could have a down. So what happened if Lance Lynn starts off bad this season? Mm-hmm. Like any pitcher could. But you're sitting there. Lance Lynn starts off and he doesn't have this. Now you're sitting there. Who are you depending on? You know, it's like it's you. Some of this stuff you could have insulated yourself from it being a problem. Even insulating a problem, 2 pitchers could go down. But at least you insulated yourself. And they're under the assumption, to a degree, in my opinion, that everything's going to be all right. And you know damn well the chances of everything being all right are short and slim.
Slim and none, and Slim just left town.
Right.
The number 1 pitcher is my guy. Second baseman, I want to see how this Harrison guy is. You know, I would have liked a younger guy, but if he's solid, like, I don't need a Gold Glove second baseman. I need a fundamentally sound. I'm not going to screw up. I don't need the spectacular play second baseman anymore.
No, I don't need spectacular.
Just give me
routine.
You know, yeah, every time it's a routine ball to him, there's no error. All right, there's no error. I'm scooping it up. You know, tossing it to the 4-6-3. All right, covering on 6-4-3. Okay, and just, you know what, because he's not a big power guy. If him and Yoan started, and I hope Yoan and maybe Abreu talked to Yo-Yo and said, hey, listen, you just stay in the park and just go gap to gap. That's all we need. All right, you go gap. We don't need. Of course, you're going to hit a couple homers because you're strong, and the ball, you know, in summertime, it's a launching pad at Sox Park. We know that. But don't go for 30 home runs. Just go for good contact because, man, I've told you a million times, I love seeing Yo-Yo run that big. He looks like a running back running around. Mm-hmm. You know, give me a second to home, first to home to second. You know, get those type of things. Get the guy, my cousin would always say this, put another quarter in the merry-go-round. Just keep guys running. But you know what? There's guys on first and second. Boom, shot to the gap. Both of those guys score. You get to second. You know, like, you know, on second base. You know what I mean? Just give me. I want a lot of these on second base. That's what I want to see. I want a lot of those on second base this year. Give me your thoughts with the Mashad has asked, who's the Sox DH? I think it's a platoon.
Yeah. You're gonna have Abreu at times. You're gonna have Sheets and Andrew Vaughn.
Bingo.
Yep. And of course, you know, you're gonna have Yasmani.
Yasmani, you know can't catch every game.
I mean, the thing is, you have an abundance of guys that can fill in that role. And you know what? I'll put it like this: it's probably gonna be similar to what a lot of these National League teams are necessarily doing, as far as the ones that haven't went out and got, like, you know what I'm saying, Nelson Cruz.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like if you didn't grab Nelson Cruz, you're going to sit there and you go take one of your everyday players, especially ones that are better hitters, and you're gonna put them. Luckily, we just got a lot of guys that can a lot of guys. I'll put up this: we got a lot of guys who we thought were going to need to be a DH. That turned out. You look at Andrew Vaughn because we were like, oh, he's going to be first baseman, and we didn't know he can play the outfield. I'm not nobody's saying he's a spectacular outfielder, but there's so much more value in Vaughn knowing that you can move him in so many places
Keep his bat in the lineup
and leave the DH spot open to rest of Yasmani or a Jose Abreu so that they're not tired from they have to sit there and play first or play be the back catcher, but you can still get those at bats, those valuable at bats from them. So the DH position for the White Sox is sweet. It's just
you can go lefty righty. You can go lefty righty because you can put Lesmani because he's a switch hitter, or if it's a right-handed pitcher, you got Gavin Sheets and he's a left-handed hitter. We got a lefty now. Andrew Vaughn goes, you know what I mean, and but Andrew Vaughn can go on the right, and then today, and Gavin Sheets can be the DH because it's a right-handed pitcher on the mound. So there's the combinations, the options that the White Sox have with right field are good. This is why I'm cool with the platoon. I want to see how Harrison plays out, and I think if we. Two things, frontline ace, like damn, drop dead, no question, field number one, and a backup catcher. That's it. Those
and you need a vet, man. You need a veteran backup. Don't play with what happened if Yasmani goes down, man. All right, you're not gonna have, you know what I'm saying,
Zach Collins and Zebi Savala.
Yeah, but you're not gonna have what's his name, the Yerminator, to be hot. You know what I'm saying? You forgot how hot he was last year to save the White Sox, the White Sox ass. You don't have him, because where would the White Sox have been if he didn't take off the way he had taken off? But even though the division is weak, but still, so you need they still got some positions they need to take care of. I know that still you can get to the season and you can get some of these players or whatever, but I don't know, man. I mean, go all the way in, man. We waited all these years to get here.
Yeah.
Don't play now that we're here. We're here now. We're in the win. We're in it. There ain't no so and so's coming up and no.
Sneaking up on nobody.
No, you're not sleeping. Everyone knows you're a team that they have to look out for. Now it's time for you to prove it.
Was it this is the second 2 years in a row we won the divisions?
Yeah. No, wait. Did they
2 years
win
ago?
They didn't made it to the playoffs in 2020. They didn't lose.
No, because they won it last year, and I'm trying to think of the year.
I know they won it last year, but the year before in the Jordan pandemic season, they had. I know they had. Remember, they had the number one spot in like
the Twins won the division.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think they. Yeah,
36. 36 and 24, and the Sox were 35 and 25.
Yeah, they gave it up. They gave it up.
Yeah, so like at the end.
No, so they got this. So this will be the second year. And maybe the first, and since Lord knows when that they back to back have won, which is it's been the first time in so long they've back to the playoffs. So I mean that's even more reason why it's not time. It's not supposed to be like that where your team is like, man, this is the first time ever they've went back to the playoffs. It's like, dude, what? This team's been around for 100 years. What are you talking about, right? Like. No, dude. No, man. We deserve better. Man. Don't dilly-dally.
Not now. And you know what? And Ryan Zorf is a huge baseball guy from Brooklyn. Like now's the time where you say, hey, listen, before I die, and I'm getting up there, who knows, it could be any day. I want to see a winner.
Be like the guy that got you into baseball, Jerry. All right, be like George Steinbrenner, because that was who he was like, man, I don't know, George. George was like, yeah, you should get into this or whatever, right? Speaking of his team, the Yankees, be like George, because George Steinbrenner wasn't nicking and diming when it was time to win. All right, he was all in. All right, be like that.
Yeah. So if he can, it's put it this way, we know it's going to be a fun summer. I'm excited to go to quite a few Sox games this year. I don't remember how many I went to last year. But I definitely go to 5 to 7 games, maybe 10 this year. It's gonna be, as a fan, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. Definitely their opening day, and it's gonna be fun, man. Like, you know what? And part of it is because of all the expectations that we have. It's not like, okay, we're saying no. All right, Yo-Yo, you've been in the show for a while. All right, Eloy, you've been in the show for a while. All right, Lou Bob. You had a full season last year. You played a little bit the year.
No, he didn't have a full season last year.
Oh, that's right. Well, I mean, yeah, I got you. I got you.
Actually, him and Eloy haven't been really been in the show for a while.
Yeah.
But you're right though. They've been around the team, but
yeah, they've been around the show. They just
they've been around the show. Yeah,
popcorn.
I don't even know if they played a whole season yet.
They might not have.
They might not. Eloy may just be close. I know Lou Bob hasn't played in the time because think about it. That season was a shortened season the year before,
right? And then
so
and
Lou Bob hasn't even. Neither one of them may have played 162 yet.
That's crazy.
I think you're right, Ken.
It's crazy. So you know what? Now's your time. Now's your chance for you get a whole season.
But, you know what though? I'll say this kind of gets back to why they need to bring more positional players here. Because now we're trying to gas them up like they can play 162 and they've never done it. And not to say they would play a whole 162, but basically 145 and 150, and neither one of them have done it. So think about how taxed they're going to be towards the end of the year, doing something they've never done before.
That's interesting. And I get frustrated with that. Because when you get 20, 30 games off, who knows? That bugs me. All right. Baseball's not it's more of a mental sport than anything. You get taxed mentally. You don't get taxed physically. All right. You're standing around, all right, the innings. And when you're in the field, all right, defense is not,
Tell that to Lou Bob's arm. I mean, not Lou Bob. Tell that to Eloy's arm and tell that to Lou Bob's hip. All right. Just say like, they just tell that to like Shawn, these guys get hurt, right? Like for real. Because I'll tell you this, they're too tight anyway. All right, especially someone like Lou Bob. His body the fat on him is low as you know what, right?
He might have negative body fat.
These guys do. Like, no, dude. Like, listen, I get what you said. Those days are gone. All right, like these dudes now. It's we don't know. Like, we think about that. How many you have? Lou Bob, you have Eloy, you have a Kopech. Right? Like, how many guys are we counting on that have never played an entire year yet?
You had Lou Bob. You had Lou Bob last year. Sorry, Ken. You had Lou Bob last year at 5 games played, and then I'm sorry, that was spring training. Last year, it's about he was hurt in the.
He missed the first 100 games.
Week. First 100 games. Yeah, so he had maybe
he had 5 games. He had 5 games. Go ahead.
Right. Eloy had 122 games in 19 and then 55 and 55 in the following 2 seasons.
So he's played over 100.
Okay. So he's in his end of his second year.
Right.
Which means he's going to kick ass in his third year by the middle of the season.
Please let him listen now. I'll say this. Now, if someone like him jumps on the other side, as far as we know what he can do when he has one of those monster years, it's gonna be a different beast. You know what I'm saying? Because then yeah, oh my goodness, man. Listen, if he has I wish both of them have great years just because of the energy that they would bring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hi, Mom.
I want the energy, just the fun. Like, yeah, man. So I'm waiting, man. I can't wait. Like you said, I'm going to be at least. I may end up. I may get a 10-game package. The guys and I have been talking about it. So yeah, I'm gonna be out there supporting. See, look, that's even more where the money. But I'm just talking about the money. It's more like everyone's so come on, stop playing with us, man.
You know what they did the best? The best thing was when they broke that shit up. When you don't have to buy 100 or 81 game package. People can't afford. A lot of people can't afford that. And then whoever did that was like, you know what? Here's an idea. How about a 10 game pack? How about a 20 game pack? And people are like, oh shit, I can do that.
I can do that. Or how many? Dog, a lot of people can't. How much time do you think I have
to go to the games? 81 times.
Crazy. You know how long these games are, dog? Like, we're not bleacher bums. I got stuff to do.
The most games I went to was last season. That was 4. That was it. Like, that's the most games I've ever been to, and I'm good with that. 4 or 5 games, I'm good with.
Yeah, I'm with
25 games. That's a lot of time.
8 to 10 is good for me because
dude, I got stuff, dude. And listen, it's my favorite sport to view live. All right, because even if your team sucks, you can have a great time, right? Like, if you don't have a good time at a baseball game, it's switch who you're sitting around. All right,
it's in the sun. It's summer. You got a beer.
It's just
dog.
It's beautiful. It lends itself and it's not fast paced. So like, even though you have to watch it, you can sit there and talk to somebody for a minute or whatever. Like, it's the best to me. Live act is the best live sport for me. I love it. But yeah, I don't need to go to 8-something odd games. Dude, I got stuff to do. All right. I got money to make.
I'm 8 to 10. I'm good. 8 to 10. I'm good. Hey, we got to. We're gonna bring our next guy. You stay a minute. You got to run. I know you got. You got 4 more episodes to do today.
I got a couple minutes. I got to see my man, but yeah, I got to get out of here, man, because I'm on the clock. When I'm here, man, I'm still on the clock.
Hey, let's bring in our guy to make it a full house backfield. You know him. He needs no introduction. He's my man. 50 grand out in the CT. He's the draft doctor himself, Phil Ottochian. Phil, what's up, Papa? How are you?
It's all about the money, money, money. Even
so, Phil,
I can't believe Kenneth saying I'm glad he put that little prerequisite. What is that little asterisk? That it's his favorite sport to watch live.
Yeah, it's mine. It's mine. It's mine.
Yes.
No, because I get why people aren't baseball fans I mean, in general. But I feel sorry for them. But I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the big three at different times can really be my favorite sport. Probably, I mean, I say right now, football is because I'm obsessed with it. Right?
Like, I can't more episodes to do today.
I can't put it down. Look, it's not bothering me. Like, it's different. If like yesterday, I finished doing some work. And then I was about to close my laptop, and I was like, wait, let me see what they've said. And listen, I'm thinking, going back to Phil, everybody make sure you check out Tape Never Lies, some new episode with Kevin Fishbain from The Athletic. I was like, let me go to Athletic and see what they're talking about the Bears, right? Before I close my laptop, and it was like, let me see what Brad Biggs has to say before I have, and it's like, I enjoy, it's a passion of mine.
Everybody's coming from different angles with this stuff. And I don't know. For me, real quick, sorry.
It's
football.
Never real quick with you, Phil.
Football. No, it isn't. How do you think I have 4 kids? There you go. But the reality is football on high school, college, and then the NFL, I don't know. The environment for me is just a love affair since I was a little kid. It's just something that, if you love the game, the audience, and being within it, even if I'm at a game that I don't have a rooting interest in, I feel I'm able to grasp the rivalry or whatever it is I'm at, like Army, Navy. I've been to 4 of those games without a rooting interest, and it's still the best game. I've told anybody that ever love football, they have to experience that, because the rivalry, the pageantry, the complete mystique of the game. You don't even know a player. They don't even have their names on there. It's just such an amazing thing. So that's why I love football so much. But the Bears have this, to Kenneth's point, this grasp on all of us. And I thought, and thank you for saying that about Kevin Fishbain. I thought he was great because, much like you, Kenneth, he's able to, unlike some of these guys in the media, go into their soul and be transparent. Like, I'm coming from the perspective that I care. And that is shown onto the fans. When a reporter is talking down, and there's a lot. Actually, I was just on a phone with one of our patrons for our network. I can't watch that Hogan Johns podcast anymore because they're too negative. It's just like negative. It's not even like a hope. It's just negative. I don't mean to be throwing them on the bus. I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm just quoting him for truth here. That's what he was saying, because it's just like they don't know, but they're negative and they're talking down to the fans. And usually that has been the past practice of, as you know, Shawn, a lot of Chicago media. It's like, I don't know if it's conditioned. I don't know what it is. And I know I'm going in a different direction. But the point was, Kenneth doesn't do that. It's like, you report on this. And I think Shawn and I know that you could think you know what a roster is in March, but April then takes another twist. And then a guy that gets cut after the draft all of a sudden comes on the roster, and then that makes another twist. And that's how you build this culture. I think the Bear fan has been so neglected by poor coaching all the way back, Fox, Tressman, Nagy, that they don't have an understanding that talent is universally amazing. There's 10% of what talent is that a great coach is able to get from their players that make a difference in performance. And it's not like college. It's not like high school. The NFL, everybody's good. So it's that coach that's able to get that culture, to get these players to believe in themselves, to believe that he's helping them, that all of a sudden a team like the Chicago Bears is competing for the North before anybody thought of it. And those same clowns that were laughing in March are now eating their words, trying to figure out some algorithm of how this happened. It's football, bro. That's what it is. That's what makes it the greatest game in the world. How about that for a I brought it all together right there.
No, yeah, dude, I agree with you. It's so difficult now, because when people talk about Ogunjobi, everyone's like, oh man. Well, you know what? Maybe obviously it wasn't meant to be. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have a good season.
Exactly.
People are like, oh, he resigned. We can't even sign people, and that's why
it's been a lot of belly aching.
Oh my God!
Don't you get? I'm sorry, Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
I was on the Keep It 100 page, and I had to put something on mine. I'm like, dude, guys, relax. He told you what he was going to do.
Right.
Exactly.
He's doing what he said he was going to do.
Right.
Stop bitching. And we're not used to that. We're used to people saying something and doing the other thing.
Exactly.
That's
been
problem.
so abused. We've been abused.
That's the problem. No,
you didn't sign Teron. Listen again. Listen. Get this right, because I was on the score with Ann Herron this week, and I was saying, look, what they're doing is he actually said, give me a word basically for what you think the Bears are doing. I said they're being measured. Right, they're being very measured in what they're doing. I said I could have talked myself into signing the Teron Armstead, but as far as what the plan is in the window, you have to know what and also to know how to do it right. Like, do you all want them to do it right, or do you want to be in a situation where you spend some money, right? You're caught in between going for it and not going for it, and now we cap hit for 3 years. Talking about what could have been. No. Set it up properly so that this can be an extended run. And look, in saying that doesn't mean that Ryan Poles is going to be great, Ian Cunningham is going to be great, or Matt Eberflus is going to be great. We will see and hold them accordingly to whatever it is. But he's doing, just like Sean said, exactly what he said. When you see, like when you just read the questions, I'm reading Brad Bigg's top 10 and seeing how negative people are, it's like, what do y'all expect? Like, so you wanted them to go out and make a trade for, and they don't have picks. All of you all have been crying for picks for years, right? They don't have picks, but you know what we should do? Let's give up our 2 number 2s and maybe something else for Tyreek Hill, right?
Exactly.
It's like, wait. So, and again, not to say that Tyreek Hill wouldn't help Justin, but that's not how the plan is supposed to go. And then that money, you're gonna be wanting that money for something. No, at this point, that's the spots, because what you want to do. Not to say that you may not have to go out one day and spend money on a top flight receiver. You want to find your Tyreek Hill so you can do what Kansas City did as far as we're not paying him this premium right now. So when it comes to a time that he wants the premium, we can decide, do we have to have Tyreek, or is Justin good enough to where if we get him another guy that's on a low, that's not getting paid, because at this point, Justin to be getting paid similar to Patrick Mahomes, that we can still keep the same thing going. It's just sometimes relax a little bit. Just relax. And that's my rant for this.
Like, go take a shit or something. You constipated, dude? Like, all these people, I'm like, stop, dude. Like, here's the thing.
You better than me because you answer them. That's your to me. That's your issue. I'm not even to get myself involved in that.
Like, it seems like one of the things that it seems like what he's doing, I think, is phenomenal, and we've talked about it all the time. Is competition. So if you notice, all the guys that he signed, like none of them are over 28. Right, and and it's mostly like 2-year deals. So I think one might be a 3-year, but mostly 2-year deals, which means you got young guys who are looking for their big contract. That's not their big contract. That 2-year deal, that 1-year deal, it's not their big contract. They want that big contract, and with the big guaranteed money, signing bonus, whatever. You got guys competing for that now. So now you got young guys, hungry guys, undrafted free agents, 6th round, late round picks, guys who are like, man, if I have one good year, one good season, I get that big pick. I get that big contract. What does that do? That creates a sense of urgency for me. But guess what? Next year, when they get some compensatory picks and they have their full thing, they're bringing other people in. So now this guy who's on, a smaller contract, okay, has all these younger people coming in, and they're going to get a 1st rounder next year. They're going to get a 2nd rounder next year. He's like, whoa. You're trying to stop me from getting my money. Not in a bad way, but you know what? So I got to keep balling. So now he keeps balling. The younger guys keep balling. Guess what? We talk about all the time. The competition. Now you're like, damn. Now this is really tough because I got 3 guys here who can rush, or 5 guys who can rush the passer, and I only got room for 4. That's the situation we want to be in, and that's what it seems like he's doing because he's getting these guys to ball out. How do you make a ball out? You hold the carrot. We're only giving you a 1-year deal. Okay, cool. I'll prove it. And that's what these guys are going to do. And I can't wait to see that plus in my opinion, with Coach Eberflus, we had on a guy who writes for the heavy on
.com for the Colts.
The Colts, Dave Holcomb.
Yep.
And like that's what I said. Like him with Eberflus's mentality for this team, but this defense. Man, you get guys, people going to want to come here to play. They see what they have going on, and this is going to be a destination spot, man. This is going to be a destination spot for some people who feel they got slighted, who got mad talent. Some people who were hurt, who like an older Eddie Jackson when he first got in the league, when he was he dropped to the 4th because he was hurt. It's going to be a spot, man. This team's going to be exciting. I don't know about winning the North and winning the Super Bowl this year. I'm not a betting man. I'm not a betting man. I wouldn't put that.
You want to see that they are following instruction this year. That's what you really want to see, that they take the learning and that they are busting their ass. That's what you want to see this year. That'll let you know how next year is going to go. If they're flying around and it's paying attention to detail and busting their ass, we are heading in the right direction. That is what you want to see. Buy-in is what you really want to see, and educated players is what you really, really want to see. Now, I don't want them to go 2 and something. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But I don't expect.
Well, they're not going to.
Yeah, I don't expect for them to necessarily be a playoff team. Not saying they don't. They can't. I'm not saying they can't because it's football. It's parity. You know what I'm saying? But you're at the beginning of a new regime. It seems like they may know what they're doing. Let's find out if they know what they're doing.
There's so much you guys are giving that I've said Matt Nagy was a complete shoe salesman, and everything that you're saying embodies what football should, the foundation of what football should be. Competition, what Shawn is talking about, should be the illuminating factor of your program, and then accountability and all of these things that are slogans. The Chicago Bears have been a corporate run organization putting politics and optics first for years. They've never, ever held their ground to the extent of finding people that fit a culture of loving the game of football. Anybody can go in there and tell you, wow, George Halas, Brian Urlacher, all of these names, all the history. They could say that meatball shit for the fans. Do they love the game? That's where I think every one of these analysts and beat writers who are saying this is a no-win, no way, can't do it, making fun of them signing the restricted offensive tackle from the Bills, Bates, making fun of this shit. We didn't get the bit, Teron Armstead. Well, I think it's pretty smart. And I'm talking with the smartest man. We were both saying, okay, you pay $85 million for Teron. He plays 11 games. That's a smart investment? Or are you checking out a guy that's Tevin Jenkins that had surgery, that didn't get out there and showed some life? And you build around these guys through competition, Do you step up? Do you buy into my program and my expectation? Because I'll tell you right now, that kid at the back of the room, undrafted from Texas Tech, that has his mom, his dad, a baby on the way, that loves this game of football, that's going to go in there and say, nobody knows me, but I'm going to make them know
will
me.
when I'm done.
Exactly. That's what football is about. That's the difference between football and every other game. If it's a coach that defines everybody has a chance. I'm so tired of the Bears bullshit with their coaching and their football philosophy in the corporate world. Finally, I got a guy that's speaking Ottochian language in Eberflus. So I can say, yes, keep up the negativity. TTNL will not. I'll show you why you got a Pringle in here, because he loves the game. Why this kid, Muhammad, comes over from the Colts knowing what Eberflus's culture and philosophy is and says, wow, look at this.
I'm going to line up right now.
I'm going to line up right now. Exactly. How about the best player on the fucking Colts saying, I love Eberflus because he held everybody account, right? So this is what we haven't had, a freaking accountability level in coaching all across the board. So I'm sitting there in March before the draft, before the third wave of free agency, and say, shut the hell up. Or as Kenneth said, relax.
Take it easy.
Yes, because I've been around this game my whole life, and the Bears for longest. They have never had this since Ditka, where everybody out there has an opportunity to say. So Eddie Jackson's asked, okay, you don't like the tackle, turn over the ball? Well, how about you turn over the ball then, or do one of those and hold his ass accountable, sit his ass on the bench. I said this to Kevin Fishbane, and I'll end it here. Last year, I saw one of my favorite Bears games of all time and one of the shittiest seasons. It was when all of the starters were out in the secondary, and here's DeAndre Houston Carson, Tease Tabor, and these young DBs, Corey Graham and Jalen Johnson out there balling, freaking flying around against the Vikings, playing like everything is on the line. When have I seen that? Haven't. But those guys knew I need to put out tape. This is my livelihood. So if you get a coach that taps into that, which I believe this guy, and just like Kenneth said, I'm speaking the same thing. I'll believe it, but right now I'm buying into knowing that, yes, this is the perfect route to take for the Bears. They identified their 3 tech. He knew defensively that was a priority. They went out and did it. They had the balls. They had the balls to say, he's not going to help us. Right. I want to save face. We'll just keep him and sign him, and then he's out, and then we'll be criticize. Right. What did you do? Why did you do? You can't win. So you did something that showed football first. Balls. Exactly. And I give Poles and Eberflus props.
Especially for someone, this is your first big gig. Think about that. A lot of people would have been like, damn, this man, forget. I hope he's going to be held. Even though they're telling you it's red flags, man, and he's like, nah, forget it.
Can't do it.
I want to do it. Like, that's what that's
exactly.
What you want.
A man of conviction.
Listen, let me tell you.
We haven't had that. We've had a bunch of politicians.
I would have loved to hear, ooh, sacked by Ogunjobi. It just sounds different, right?
Yes.
It's sacked by Jones. It does. It sounds, but if we're gonna sit there and we're gonna start off in the same situation that we've been in, having players that can ball but can't stay on the field, what sense does it make? That's just the truth of the matter. Regardless of your ability, it doesn't make as much. Dog, you're trying to win. Like, see the thing, kind of what you're saying, Phil. We're so abused. We don't know what a real program looks like. Like, Shawn, to your point, once they get to being really competitive, right? This is the problem with Ryan Pace. Once they get to the point where they got their guys drafted in there, right? And now they can start, some of the guys they're drafted that may play well, but don't play to the extent of the money that they may want, and they can start letting those guys go, then you really start getting those compensatory picks, that you need, and you're bringing in more competition.
Exactly.
That's what a real GMing is doing. Like the Bears have to establish their own guys first. I mean, consistently, where you don't have to go out and trade for so-and-so and so-and-so because you missed on this said player.
Exactly.
You missed on that said player. Not to say you won't miss on players, but like the Bears consistently miss on top draft picks.
The big ones. Kevin White, Leonard Floyd,
Mitch Trubisky.
Let Mitch Trubisky. Now we got to trade. We got to pay Robert Quinn. We got to do this to cover the fucking speed, the holes in the road that we had. So yeah,
we
totally with you.
Jimmy Graham.
He's being smart. Open it up. And find guys that are buying into football. And that's what you said, Shawn. I said the same goddamn thing on my rant. What are all these guys having in common? 6th round pick, undrafted. Showing that they have a great desire to play, be successful, and work towards getting that money. But listen, I've been around the game a long time. That undrafted guy who's been cut 3 times has a hell of a lot more appreciation for an opportunity to play than the guy that's been handed it his whole life and has gotten paid. And he's rocking the freaking gold chain, gold fronts, a Bentley out here on Instagram telling people
you can't have a gold
chain
and gold fronts. You hating on the gold chain now?
I am. When you're flaunting it, to the extent where you're not playing the same way you flaunt, then I do have a problem with the gold. Have the gold fronts all you want. Yeah.
Your performance fine. But otherwise,
if you're coming up in the alley and you're fucking dodging, making business decisions, don't rock that gold front.
First of all, that's their money. All right, that's their money. They can do what the hell they want to do.
Right.
What you mean? I'm with, but you don't have to point on gold chain. What about the guy with the F-150 truck, Phil? Let's get
Same with him. He's got the best.
Go to the brothers first, Phil.
Okay, the F-150. The guy that's got
the guy with the high-power rifle for no damn reason, Phil.
The guy for the cutoff rifle in the back of his truck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some. He
loves.
He's got
buckhead on the back.
He's got season tickets to freaking whatever country music star that it is today.
Always got tobacco in his cheek.
Got tobacco. He's got 5 bulldogs. Whatever.
So the chew. I hate the chew. I hate that Jose hit us the chew. But yeah, I gotta bust your balls.
Oh no. You guys know what I know.
You know, I know.
Hey, we gotta take a quick break, Ken. I know you gotta go, Papa. I appreciate it, man.
I love you too, man. Y'all have a good one. Everybody have a good one. Hey, real quick, Phil, love to see you doing the secret reader at your son's class.
Oh, thank you, bro. That was a lot of fun.
That was dope.
Shout out to Riley, everybody over there on the other side. Everybody have a great weekend and be safe, man.
Hey, real quick before you go, you and Shawn have to have the anniversary on the draft show. So we got to bring you both back.
What's going to happen this time? What's going to happen during the show this time, right?
It'll be epic. That's all I can tell you.
You got to come up with it because you said, give me a tackle or give me depth.
It's going to be a big play receiver or give me depth.
Give me a wide receiver or give me a hemorrhoid.
That's great. I can't wait. I can't wait for it, Phil. I look forward to it, bro.
All right, guy. All right, Kenneth. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you, Bubba.
You too.
Hey, we're going to take a quick me and the draft doctor himself are going to go at it for another 15, 20 minutes. Talk Bears. A lot of signings, a lot of O-line signings. Does that mean we're going wide receiver in the draft? We're going to find out. Stay here. Shawn and Maya in the morning with my man, Phil Ottochian, right here on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. NBA Thursday, the Bulls dropped their second straight 126-109 the loss at New Orleans. The Bulls are 42-31 with the setback. Zach LaVine led the scoring for Chicago with 39 points. Kobe White had 23. The Pelicans got 30 points from Devontae Graham, 25 from CJ McCollum, and a double-double from Jonas Valanciunas. Up next for the Bulls, they'll try and snap the skid tomorrow night when they visit Cleveland. The Blackhawks put a 2-game winning streak on the line tomorrow when they visit the Vegas Golden Knights. Chicago with a 4-3 win at Los Angeles yesterday. Alex DeBrincat had the shootout winner. Colin Delia made made 43 saves through overtime in just his second start of the season. Spring training Thursday, the Angels beat the Cubs 5-4. Today, it'll be the Cubs taking on the Rockies. The Giants beat the White Sox 9-6. Today, the Sox will face the Mariners. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport. Yeah, yeah. It's a romance sport. Yeah, it's a romance sport like that. This one going out.
Welcome back to
There
Shawn.
we go.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It is the weekend, baby, and I am fired up. It's not going to be a warm weekend here in the Chi, but you know what? It's good. It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a good weekend. More Bear stuff, and one of the things I want to get in with my guy. You see him. He's the man over at TTNL, the Tape Never Lies Network, the draft doctor himself, Phil Ottochian. I always appreciate your time, Papa. Every time you come on with me, I want to talk about the signings. Okay.
Yes.
He signed quite a few offensive linemen. Okay. The center from Green Bay.
Lucas Patrick.
He just put Ryan Bates, assigned Ryan Bates to an offer sheet.
Yep.
He had the guy from the Vikings,
Dakota Dozier.
Dakota Dozier. Okay. With all these signings, do you see any dead set on starters, or is this all competition?
I think Lucas Patrick's your starting center, and he's in my opinion, I know me and Olin go toe-to-toe on this. I just think he's a physical and more athletic upgrade to Sam Mustipher, and that's a good thing. But for just like we were talking earlier, that just puts Sam on notice that he's got to work his ass off to get into the competition. But I think he's a starter. Obviously, Bates, I think they're signing him to be a starter at the right tackle position. I know there's rumors out there that they don't like Larry Borum. I don't see that. I don't know what's not to like about Larry Borum. I like Larry Borum a lot. I know my colleague on the Barlissimo loves Larry Borum on the left side. I don't see Larry as the left tackle. I see Tevin Jenkins having those boxes checked. You saw that he was a misfit in regards to Matt Nagy's, culture. He was the one guy standing up for his quarterback. He obviously was hurt. There's a lot of unknowns there thrust onto the scene. So, and Dakota Dozier, I feel like he's in the competition. Come in here, camp guy, see what he has, and And that's how you define who you are, given another opportunity to start. Dakota Dozier's not penned in as a starter at right guard. Neither would be. I think Bates, based on the fact that you're signing him to a deal, kind of shows that you are interested in him being a starter. I really believe that. But that doesn't take
Give
away
him the
from
job. Right.
Exactly. It doesn't give him the job. That might give him the first shot, and that's up to Larry Bourne or however they see it.
Whoever, yeah.
Yeah, if they see Jenkins on the right side too, then maybe Bates is the left tackle that they've scouted. But that's all going to be ironed out. I just believe Patrick is your center based on what they've done and based on my analysis of it. Bates is going to be a tackle, one of them. I believe it's going to be the right, and I believe in my analysis of Jenkins. I don't know where other people see his feet. Perfect feet for me, strength, attitude, just a young kid jumping in the fire. I felt like he performed very well when he had a week to prepare, not be Jason Peters out in the first 3 plays, and now you're in after being out all year. I just don't think people realize what kind of place that is for a young kid.
Yeah, my thought is this: is like he talked about. I'm talking about Ryan Poles. He's about linemen looking a certain way, and I was kind of upset with that because you don't just go off of stats because those are numbers. Numbers lie. I said, you remember Larry Allen and who was the other guard for the Cowboys?
Nate Newton.
Nate Newton. I said those dudes would not fit that type of those numbers, those parameters. But those dudes could move.
Exactly.
Those dudes, you saw there, was it Nate Newton or Larry Allen chase down the linebacker after a pick? Like, these dudes could move, and I'm like, I hope Ryan Pace and Matt Eberflus don't get caught up in, look at this guy, he's 6'5", he's got 18% body fat, those numbers don't mean shit. I said, because the bottom line is there are going to be people who have 25%, 30% body fat, but can play all game, but can continue to cross a guy's face, continue to reach a guy, in the zone concept that they're going to be running with, the Mike Shanahan type offense. They can get across a defensive lineman's face. It doesn't matter the size or the body fat competition, how our composition or how, that doesn't matter. I hope he stays away from that and just has the best guy, because for obviously what I talked about last week, and I've said, the run game is going to help this team immensely because they're going to commit to the run, right? He just came from a team that had the NFL's leading rusher, so you're going to commit to run. And if you get Larry Bourne and Tevin Jenkins moving people and leaning on people, do you think in the third and fourth quarter they're going to have the type of energy they can to come after the quarterback? No. Obviously, they're conditioned athletes as well, but you and I both know when you've got laid on by a 300-pound lineman, and he's moving you, and he's moving, you're having those battles. All of a sudden, the third quarter, your burst, that great get off that you have, ain't so great in the third and fourth quarter when you're because you haven't earned the right to rush the passer because they're running the ball down your throat. That's a whole different thing, and I hope that they give those guys a legitimate shot to do that, because if you do that. It keeps the defense honest, which is going to help obviously the run game, which is going to help Justin Fields, which is going to help anybody else who Justin Fields is throwing to.
Yeah, as an offensive line coach, there's several things I want to point out what Shawn just said, especially when it comes to analytics. So if you're going by height, speed, weight, and that kind of stuff, what I believe people are missing and what Poles was saying, the way I read it, is the way I coach it. There's sloppy weight, and then there's conditioned weight. A player like Reuben Brown, for example, we'll use him, might have been 325 pounds, but he was properly conditioned and prepared to play football. So if it was a play away and he had to get in front of the Sam linebacker, because they were blocking to the weak side, that he was able to understand his athleticism and his speed to get to that point, and he was conditioned to play the game of football. when I watch a lot of an analyst and, oh, he's too heavy, he's too fat. Well, how does he move? Just like Shawn's saying, there's good body fat that can be properly used in the game of football that is going to weigh on a defender, that's going to weigh on a linebacker and put them in the point where their conditioning is going to be coming into question because they're getting, manhandled. So I really believe everybody should be conditioned. And I think too many times people look at conditioning, that term, wrong. I was going for my master's in physical education and anatomy and physiology and kinesiology. A person can carry certain body weight but still be conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on their bone structure, how they carry these things. So I believe Ryan Poles and Eberflus were watching tape and seeing sloppy, unconditioned Chicago Bears offensive linemen last year, and they're not going to have that. Thus, Eberflus says, get your running shoes on because you're going to be in shape. You're going to run to the fucking ball. You're going to play to the whistle. All the things that we all know are appropriate. The New England Patriots are of that same culture. So you can have a Brown there who's 6'5", 338 pounds, but he's conditioned. They're not getting him on the scale and because he's sloppy. That's the difference. And you guys could put the names in there of who you think wasn't in condition and was. You guys know my takes on it, and I could put a name to it. I mean, Cody Whitehair was not conditioned. He wasn't. So he needs to be put on notice and that he has the talent. He wasn't ready to play 60 minutes of football hustling down the field like young Cody Whitehair was. So Cody's going to have to work on getting his conditioning, and that's breathing. That's being able to consistently go full speed for an hour. That's what I laugh about all the time with, and that's a whole nother story about people saying, well, they don't run every play. Soccer is they're the best athletes because they're running all the time. No, they're not. The ball's over there. The defenseman's standing there.
Yeah.
He's standing there. They're not running all the time. It sounds good, but let's look at it realistically. Are they sprinting and barreling with 45 plus pounds of pads on in a full-on physical sport, collision sport? No, they're not. That's what football is. So you have to be conditioned, and I think Ryan Poles and Eberflus are setting that parameter that we're not going to be lazy when it comes to every single play on offense. And that's where the difference is. So I don't think they're going to be looking at the body fats of these, young, like the kid I love, Green, coming out of A&M as a guard. He's so athletic. I know he's probably got low body fat, but he can play 100 miles an hour for an hour. And those are the types of guys they're going to be looking for. Do they love the game? Are they ready and prepared to play? And Shawn, real quick, last point on this. There's a lot of preparation, as we know, that goes into the combine and our pro days. We take those times to eat right, sleep right, train right, to give a false image of ourselves. It's almost like a Instagram filter now with these people. Is that you? That's what a GM and a scout and does this guy love the game, or is he just preparing for the moment to get drafted? And once he gets paid, he doesn't love the game. He doesn't work that same way. That's where the process has the failures, is that we look at those combine numbers, but were they doing that shit as a freshman, junior, in college? I don't know. That's where you have to go do the research. And that's where Eberflus and Poles have to find the guys that love the game and are going to prepare each and every play like it's your last. That's really it.
When he talked about, and we're joined by Phil Ottochian from the Tape Never Lies Network, talking Bears football right here in Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. When he said that we want to find guys who love the game, like that, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps because we were talking about it, and you need guys who, it doesn't matter, like they don't play for the money. You play to get your contract, but you play because you love the game. and we were talking, and I said, you know what? I said I had one MVP and a national championship when I left the Chargers and went to the Thunder. I was like, and you know what? I said, and truth be told, I was second string when I went to that team. They had their running back who was an all-league performer. They had their backfield. And I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit. You know what? When I get in, I got nothing to do with them. They're on the sideline. I'm in. All right. It's my time to do my thing. And we supplanted the running back duel. And there's no disrespect to them. Right. But because for me, like, I didn't rest on the national championships that we won and the MVP that I'd won a few years prior. It was about the game. It was about me being, I want to be out there. I want to win. And when you get guys like that, if they can find guys like that, we're going to be, and they're extremely talented.
Yes.
Guys like that can take you a certain way. But when you get the extremely talented first round picks who love the game like that, now you're cooking with gas. And that's what I think he's trying to do. And I think that we're going to see that because you have to love the game in order to run to the ball every play on defense. Because you might be the corner on the other side or the linebacker on the other side, go watch, covering the tight end and the flat out there, but the ball's going over here, and you got to get your ass back there.
Exactly.
That's a lot of running, and you have to love the game. And when if you can find guys like that, Phil, they're there. Don't get me wrong, they're there. But if you can find guys like that, this team's going to be really, really fun to watch. I want to ask you a question about what you thought of Eberflus reaching out to the Bears alumni. He said, he talked about how cool it was to hear from Dick Butkus, hear from Urlacher, to hear from Briggs, Peanut. He said he talked to Peanut, and Peanut's going to come in and teach the punch. He was on the Peter King podcast, teach the Peanut punch. Dude, who the hell else do you want teaching the Peanut punch than the guy who created it? You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
He taught it to his guys in Indy, but like, this is the dude who made it. Watch this guy. What did you think? Give me your thoughts when you heard that and he went back to incorporate those the former Bear greats into this current team.
I think it's great that you do that. I think it has to be a priority, though. I don't want it to be the pomp and circumstance on hiring. I think the Chicago Bears have done a complete disservice to their alumni and have pick and chose who they want to promote, who they don't. I just think if you're going to have a truly great culture, you embrace every guy that put their lives on the line. Because let's just be honest, this is it's the greatest game, but it is the most physical as well. So I think it's great. I don't want to take anything away from it, but I want to see consistency from the franchise, because I've heard a lot of horror stories on how this franchise has treated or conducted their business in regards to alumni. And it's great, and I think Eberflus is in it. But again, who's pulling? I don't know if you got to see Kevin on our show, but we were pushing back on how the media is having access. Like Peter King gets access to Eberflus.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Shawn and Maya get access to Eberflus? They're picking and choosing.
Yep.
They pick and choose. Oh, no. Can't have anybody interviewing this young kid. We got to do it. Larry Mayer can do it. Jeff Joniak can do it. Until they let go of that kind of stuff, then I know it's almost two different parts, but it really is one, if you understand what I'm saying. The Bears have to be embracing the culture that they're building by bringing in everybody from the past, not just Peanut Tillman, Urlacher, Butkus, and all the fans eat that up. Embrace them all. And then I'm starting to see, because maybe this kid, and I know I'm trying to think of somebody, and Ryan Wetnight just came in my head, but I know he had passed away. He passed away. God rest his soul. Right. But let's throw Eric Kramer in there, former Bears quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's been through a lot in his life. Maybe you should reach out to him and have him talk to the team about mental health issues, about, stuff that goes on in real life. That kind of stuff, I think, takes a priority to some political thing of bringing Peanut in here to teach the Peanut punch. That's just where I am right now with this franchise. Everything has to be changed. Ted needs to step the fuck out of there and stop worrying about what the GM looks like, what the GM could say, what these players can have, the media can have access. I remember as a kid, it was so amazing to see where are they now in the Bear Report. I remember where are they now, and they would go back and tell the story of one of these undrafted great player, whatever it was. This is where they are now. That's the man now. I love that kind of stuff. Same with guys that are trying to make the team. Allow them to talk. Dieter Eisland from Yale. I love that kid. He didn't get a shot last year under Matt Nagy. It was a travesty. Let's interview Dieter about his offseason, how he's changing a different culture. Is he going to make this team? That would be a great interview for them to allow a Kevin Fishbane, a Shawn Sierra, a Kenneth Davis to have. They got to open up their players like other franchises do to the fans, so the fans can get to know the players, not just the superstars from the past, if that makes sense to you.
No, I agree. I know that would be really, really cutting edge for the Bears, but it would be really necessary. And if you think the fans, because like there's questions that I would ask that Larry Mayer's not asking,
exactly,
that Brad Biggs isn't asking, or that Jeff Joniak's not asking. Like they give the lobs, because it's corporate,
yes.
It's a corporate thing, and
exactly.
Like I would love that, because all of a sudden you do get to know these guys. You do get to, really kind of, because we've invested so much of our passion, our feelings, our money. All right.
Exactly.
In there, I want to know who I'm rooting for. I want to be, I want to understand David Montgomery. I want to understand a little better. I want to understand Justin Fields. How did it feel? Coming up, dealing with
no
that.
one. Have we seen a in-depth personal interview with Justin Fields?
Nope.
No, we haven't.
Nope.
What's Justin Fields? Justin.
Well, he's not that important of a player, Phil.
Well, yeah, exactly. This Larry Mayer's first question, Justin, what's the offseason been like? No one cares. Come on. I want to hear Justin under Nagy. How difficult was it? It's a personal thing. And you have to be honest, Justin. It was hard. And you get that quality and you get that growth. And fans would then, there's fans out there burying Justin Fields. How? I don't know. I don't think you can look at the umbrella of what happened last year and take it out on a young kid being thrust into an environment that was abusive, neglectful, as I've ever seen in my entire football life.
Phil, the best thing that could happen is Mitch Trubisky balls out this year.
Oh yeah, that'll show you.
That'll be the best thing, because then they can say, okay, now you're mad at Justin Fields because he didn't throw for 5,000 yards last year. Well, look, here's why. Look at Mitch, what he did, and now look what he did when he's out from underneath that dude's thumb. He flourished.
Exactly.
And now Mitch has Justin has a legitimate offensive coordinator who's worked with let's call it, as much as we hate him, a gold jacket. A guy's going to get a gold jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be a lot that he's going to learn. So I can't wait to see that, and hopefully the Trubisky thing too, because I just really want, it bugged me that we wasted 3 years, because the first year we were all gung ho, we're like, oh yeah, but then as we started, like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why does he pick captains every week? What kind of bullshit is that? Why is, all these little things that coaches like you and I know, like, you don't pick captains every week. What kind of nonsense is that?
Oh my God.
Get out of here. So
don't even bring that up. Jeez. Anyway, Shawn.
Who do you like real quick before I know you got to run? Who do you like real quick? Wide receiver. If they go wide receiver, because they've gotten a couple of linemen, do you think who do you like as the wide receiver? Or who do you think they would pick with their second round pick?
Yeah, it's always hard because you're going at 39, so I would have to see who was on the board. But my guy I love is Burks out of Arkansas. I think he's a true alpha. He's a true, unbelievable football player when I watch him on tape. He's deceptively fast. And when you have a bigger guy that dynamic and a draft full of, I think this draft is deep at receiver, defensive linemen, rushers, offensive linemen. People get desperate for quarterbacks. They can kind of push players. So I can only pray that a Burks would be there, or the best receiver in the draft is, to me, Jamison Williams from Alabama. But he's hurt. So sometimes those hurt players drop. And you know it. So I would sprint to the podium if Jamison Williams dropped because of injury and people are concerned. And if you've got a good, understanding of his doctor reports, your doctors feel good, you sprint to take that chance, because then you got a dynamic football player there at 39. However, I'd have to see who's on the board, but those two players I really, 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 really like in this draft.
Dude, I appreciate your time, Papa, as always, man. Do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the truth. We break down the tape. We'll be breaking down a couple free agents on Sunday at 5 East, me and my dad, and maybe Barelissimo, Muhammad, Pringle, and Equanimous St. Brown. And then Draft Mob. I'm going to have my mock draft on Sunday morning this weekend. So go to thetapeneverlies.com or go subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Tape Never Lies. We're always having Shawn, Ivan, and Kenneth, and all of these guys that come on, and we talk Bears and have a lot of laughs. So follow me on Instagram right there, at Phil_Toshin. Shawn, have a great weekend, man.
Great stuff, buddy. You still got more houses to see this week, or what?
Actually, we're in the process. Hopefully, we're waiting on a bid on a house, so that's where we are. So
okay, well, good luck.
We've sold our house. Now we're in this next phase, I'll just say.
Yeah. Well, good luck, man. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
We'll be in touch.
All right, brother. Have a great one.
Later. Man, great stuff with our man, Ottochian. Man, 3 hours is come and gone, dude. That went super duper fast. Holy sheesh. I definitely want to thank the guests for today. Today's show was awesome. All right. I want to thank Dave Holcomb from Heavy.com, who covers the Colts, for coming on. Obviously, my man Ken Davis for coming on from the 10 to 11, actually like 11:30 hour and a half. My man Phil Ottochian. That was good stuff. Joseph Phillips in the morning. Definitely want to thank this guy right here, Ivan Vargas, for keeping everything running smooth. It was a great show. I want to thank our executive producer, Elliot Baez, Clarence Council, our social media guy, Maya Kai, my co-host in absentia. All of us together, put together a great show, man. Dude, that one flew, bro. That one really, 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 really flew. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. I was really happy. Make sure you keep it locked right here on Sports Zone Chicago, because Second City Sports is coming up next with Lakina McGee and Sid the Kid, man, Sidney Brown, having more sports conversations. So you're going to want to do that. So we're going to take a quick 69-hour break, and on the other side of the break, we'll have the Final Four. That'll be set. I'm excited to find out who that's going to be. We'll see on Monday, 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. So for Elliot, so for Clarence, Maya, and my guy Ivan Vargas.
Guys, I'll be on later on today. I might be on at 6 because I want to do some later around the house. So I might be on a little earlier today, but tomorrow with the Smoke Fellas, it should be one hell of a show with the Final Four being set. Like Shawn said, the Bulls struggling, but NBA getting a little intense. New York lifting their mandates and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a mouthful, to say the least, tomorrow on the Smoke Fellas. It should be a great show, 11 to 1. Check it out.
You know what's really funny? Check this out. According to Ozzie Guillen, he said the mayor of New York, says unvaccinated athletes can now play at home games, and it said Mets owner made a $1.5 million contributions to his campaign last year, and allegedly threatened to not back him in the future. Oh, the mandates are lifted.
Hey, remember that Simpson, the nuclear power plant episode? Remember that when they had the softball and then Mark McGuire came in and he had those secret satellite papers. Major League Baseball runs the world. All right, Major League Baseball, I'm convinced, has more than what we think of a say in how this country does some of its dealings. So, I mean, all jokes aside, that's wild. That's wild. Hey, when Daddy pulls that paycheck, when Daddy pulls that money, you got to go ahead and be all about it, dog. It's a different ball game.
Yeah, the Simpsons have predicted so many different things, and that's nuts. So listen, for everybody else, guys, we have a phenomenal show. We appreciate it. We love the fact that you guys tune in and support us. We love it. Do me a favor, make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we're at Sports Zone Chi. Guys, we'll see you Monday, 9 a.m. to noon. We got a whole bunch of other coverage. Like I said, stay right here at 12 o'clock. Lakina in Sydney, Second City Sports tomorrow. Later, Ivan. Tomorrow, the Smoke Fellows, we got you the whole weekend, all right? Until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy. Get out there if you can. We out.